WBBM.
Right, Lisa, thank you. Light rain now at O'Hare, 51 degrees at 3:59.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, we're keeping an eye on the sky. Some possible severe weather as it moves in. We're going to get the latest from AccuWeather. Visitation held on the southwest side for fallen Chicago firefighter Michael Altman. Plus, President Trump says Iran is allowing several oil tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The latest on that situation coming up from CBS News.
Chicago
Opening
Live,
day for
4
MLB.
p.m.
We'll have the latest
March
as Cubs
26,
take on
2026.
Nationals at Wrigley in business.
Worries about the war against Iran sending stocks sharply lower today. The Dow down 470 points, the Nasdaq down 522, the S&P lower by 115. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
It is 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says on social media that he is extending until April 6th strikes on energy plants in Iran. The president says talks are ongoing and that Iran is begging for a deal with the U.S. He also reveals what he calls a present sent by Iran.
We're going to let you have 8 boats of oil, 8 boats, 8 big boats of oil. This was 2 days ago. And they'll sail up tomorrow.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is traveling to France for a G7 meeting. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Iran will be at the top of the agenda. Canada is calling for the G7 to collectively back a de-escalation of the war. Secretary Rubio, before departing, spoke of the progress he says is being made through negotiations.
There are intermediary countries that are passing messages. There's a growing amount of energy that's been flowing through the straits. Not as much as should be flowing, but some of it is picked up. So there's been some progress in regards to the exchange of messages.
Allies at the meeting outside Paris are hoping Rubio will set out the U.S. position clearly.
The House passes DHS funding for a third time, and voting is still open in the Senate. With no resolution to the partial government shutdown, many unpaid TSA officers are still calling out sick, and the lines are still backed up at some airports.
We're so apprehensive. We don't want to miss a flight.
Wait times at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston are regularly exceeding 4 hours, with only a third of screening lanes operational. On Wednesday alone, almost 40% of the TSA staff in Houston who aren't getting paid failed to show up for work.
That's CBS's Shauna Meisel. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife have appeared in federal court in New York City for a preliminary hearing following their capture in January. They are facing drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges and have previously pleaded not guilty. CBS's Bradley Blackburn outside the courthouse.
A federal judge in New York Thursday refused to dismiss charges against former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife after Maduro's lawyer argued the U.S. is violating Maduro's rights by not allowing him to use Venezuelan government funds for his legal defense.
The Justice Department and the Department of Homeland Security are nearing an agreement that would allow the agencies to share sensitive voter data with each other. The information would allegedly be used to see if non-citizens have been casting ballots in elections. CBS's Sarah Lynch says there are already multiple legal challenges playing out on court against the push for sensitive data from states.
That could lead potentially to judges asking more questions, asking for people to come testify under oath and explain more in detail about what this information is going to be used for.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com. Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It's 4:03, Thursday, the 26th day of March. Happy opening day, if you so celebrate, baseball fans. I'm Lisa Fielding. Thanks for joining us. We've got some light rain at O'Hare, 51 degrees. Winds whipping out of the northeast, now gusting at 37 miles an hour. That's our top story, the weather. It appears all of the hazards are in play for storms tonight. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Thompson has our latest update.
Lisa, we've been tracking some showers and some thunderstorms moving across the area this afternoon. Mostly been some showers. We're starting to see some thunderstorms in some of the western suburbs through parts of DeKalb and Kendall counties, moving into portions of Kane County too, just west of Aurora. And these storms will continue to slide to the east. We do have some showers around Wrigley Field as well. The heavy stuff, though, staying off to the south and west so far. We are going to see the threat for some stronger thunderstorms, some hail possible with these storms into early this evening, maybe even some damaging wind gusts, especially near and south of Interstate 80. The temperatures have been falling throughout the day, and they'll really fall tonight down to near the freezing mark after these storms move out. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Visitation today for fallen Chicago firefighter Michael Altman. It's being held on the city's south side. WBBM's Andy Dane is there.
The funeral for Chicago firefighter Michael Altman had been scheduled for tomorrow here at St. Rita. The service will be rescheduled. Chicago fire officials say the 32-year-old's wife went into labor earlier today. The many gathered here for Altman's visitation tell us that update makes the situation even more difficult to process. Altman, a fourth-generation firefighter, died while battling a blaze in Rogers Park last week. The man has been charged with starting that fire. One visitor tells us that is a semblance of justice, that the Altman family needs all the support that they can get. On Chicago's southwest side, Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, it's opening day at Wrigley Field today, kicking off the start of the special Cubs season, which will also celebrate two major milestones.
You can probably remember where you were when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, ending a 108-year championship drought, the longest in North American professional sports history.
It was catharsis for a fan base, for a city, and frankly, for baseball fans everywhere.
Cubs Executive Vice President of Marketing and Communications Jen Martindale says this year the Cubs are celebrating 10 years of that historic win. Martindale says this includes bringing back the beloved chalk wall from 2016.
We've actually lovingly recreated that chalk wall this year on the left field interior concourse so fans can go and look for the messages that they wrote back in 2016.
Martindale says it all culminates in the unveiling of a new monument in Gallagher Way in July that honors the Cubs' 3 World Series championships. Also this year, the Cubs are celebrating 150 years as a National League franchise.
Our players are wearing a special 150th anniversary patch all season long. We've created a lot of merchandise in the team store. We also have some special giveaways for our fans this year that celebrate iconic people and moments from Cubs history.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, imagine finding out someone came to your apartment building after hours and asked to see your lease. That's what a member of Chicago's Civilian Police Oversight Board says a retired police officer did at her building as part of what she claims is an effort to get her off the board.
Shock, disgust, outrage.
Javier Minor is on Chicago's Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability. She says that's what she felt after discovering that Far South Side Police District Council member Lee Bilecki showed up unannounced at her building around 10 p.m. on February 17th.
He went up to the security desk, asked about my unit, asked for me by name, and asked to see my lease.
Minor says he was trying to prove she was lying about where she lived and had followed what she claims was an attempt by the city's police officers union to block her renomination to the board.
That's not democracy. That's a failure.
Bilecki confirms he visited Minor's building and asked the security person if she lived there, but in an interview tells me he did not ask about her lease and said he had no intent to intimidate her. Bilecki sent an apology to Minor the day after the visit and has been censured. Minor's asking the mayor's office to open an investigation and to be slated for reappointment to the commission. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
And a spokesperson for the commission says the 6 candidates slated for appointment are highly qualified and described claims about the process as false and misleading. 2 people facing first-degree murder charges after the deadly shooting of a contractor, 28-year-old Nassie Mason and 31-year-old Irving Harris, accused of shooting 67-year-old Jerry Lewis in the head just before 1 on Tuesday in the 2100 block of West Madison Street near the United Center. Investigators say Mason and Harris were taken into custody moments after the shooting. The pair are expected to make their first court appearance on Friday. 4:08 now. Time to head to the roads. Traffic and weather together on the 8s every 10 minutes. Here's Lisa Costi.
On the Tri-State Tollway southbound, you're heavy from Gulf to Irving Park. We got a crash with injuries there. That's in the 2 right lanes. Northbound on the Tri-State, you're heavy from the Bishop Ford to Halstead, and then another slowdown for you, Thermaxville to the Eisenhower. On the Edens inbound, stop and go from Old Orchard now to past Cicero with a crash. It's on the road.
There's the cops right there. See them?
From Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound, no problem. The Kennedy inbound heavy from Cumberland all the way to the Jane Byrne interchange. We'll get a nice look at the one Trust mural near North Avenue. 58 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown. 27 from the junction. Outbound, it's a 55-minute ride. Stay in the locals, believe it or not.
So I want to hear the weather, because the weather is really dangerous today, and then I'll start talking.
Heavy from Bessie Coleman Drive to the Tri-State, the Eisenhower now. Heavy from Route 83 to Harlem and Costner to the Jane Byrne. It's an hour 10 in from the Jane Addams, an hour 12 on your outbound side to I-90. The Stevenson 53 in from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, it's 52 to the Tri-State, an hour 7 to 355. The Dan Ryan inbound 17 minutes. Outbound, it's pretty brutal. You're jammed from 31st down to 95th with that emergency road work happening in the left lane. It's 55 minutes to the Bishop Ford split. I-57, no problems. The Bishop Ford inbound's okay. Outbound, you're heavy from 130th to 159th with that long-term road work. It's 22 minutes to 80-94. The Reagan eastbound, you're heavy from Route 83 to the northbound Tri-State ramp. Westbound, so Winfield to Route 59. From the Metro Traffic Center, your next traffic at 418 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much for watching. Some rain and storms moving into our area. We've got light rain going on at O'Hare around right now, 50 degrees. But as we move into the evening hours, could turn more windy and sharply colder with heavy thunderstorms possibly. Temperatures dropping into the 40s in most places. Later tonight, blustery overnight with a low of 31, a high tomorrow of 43. 50 degrees at O'Hare, 52 at Midway, 49 Lakefront stocks. Wow, in the red. NASDAQ enters correction territory. Stocks deepen sharp losses. It's 410.
This winter might not have been the worst one on record, but it's
What's up, everybody? SubX.News, 4:10 p.m. March 26th of the 26th year of the 2000 whatever you say, millennium or epoch. I don't know how you say that. The 2026. That's really, there's words for everything. You could say the 26th year of the 2000 or the 2000 year. I don't know how you say it. Whatever. There's probably some fancy guy that knows that stuff. I ain't that fancy. I know some fancy things, but not that kind of fancy stuff. But two things I wanted to say. By the way, I hope everybody's getting ready for the storms. If you're out where there can be tornadoes, you need to be careful tonight. Always make sure you have your phones charged and some candles and stuff like that, right? That's the easiest thing. If your lights go out, have your phone charged. You should get these. You know what's good to get? I don't have it handy. It's in back of me. I should actually check if I have it. It's probably not in here anymore. A jump starter. These portable car chargers or jump starters, and you can charge them with the USBs, and you can use them as emergency electric for your phone. At least you can communicate. Here's the thing. If everything goes down, then your internet goes down too. That's kind of why Elon Musk's idea that everything should be in the sky and off the planet is kind of a good idea, but we'll see how that works out. Two things I wanted to say about the news today. Well, let's see if they have any on.
As a mitzvah parade makes its way through Chicago today.
Small batches, handmade flour and water guarded.
Rabbi Meir Moskovitz with the Lubavitch Chabad in Skokie describing the office.
Two things that happened. You've seen the police officers here, right? So what are they doing? I know there's robberies out on Michigan Avenue. There's machine gun robberies during the day here now on Michigan Avenue. Everybody knows that. That happened last week. They were robbing people here right now at this time with machine guns. They were just pulling people over. Just happened in the Wells district by the Rabbit Hole over there on North Wells, 212 North Wells. That's over by Marietta's neighborhood. They were robbing people coming out of bars. They were just standing there robbing people. That just happened. When was I up on the roof for Wilbur Wright College? Was that Monday or so? That was happening Monday or Tuesday night. They were robbing people. People going in and out of the bars. So the one thing I got to ask is, what are these cops doing, right? When we see them patrolling, are they actually preventing crime? We just had rioting and looting last night in downtown. It was a riot. They were looting. There was violence. No one got shot. God willing, right? Thank God that no one got shot last night like they did during the Loop or during the Chicago Theater incident during the tree lighting ceremony. But they could have got there. So what are all these patrols doing? Are they actually preventing crime? It doesn't seem like it is. It's like they're scarecrow policing. You're just out there like, I don't know, scarecrowing, like, you know what a scarecrow does, right? It doesn't chase anybody, it just stands there. And there's no prevention, right? So if you knew all these kids were coming downtown, why didn't you have people at the CTA stations and talking, well, that's their constitutional right to destroy our downtown? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not. And there's nothing illegal about asking someone what they're doing. If they say, well, I don't want to talk, you say, that's fine. That's fine. But at least they know you're talking to them and you're observing them, right? That's the point I'm trying to say here, is there's no preventative policing. And then you hear, what did you hear on the news? The lady said, he came to my building to check if I live there. What's illegal about that? So you can't even check people anymore? You can't check if she's a candidate and you have a tip that she might not live there. Then what? Can't you go to the building and check if she lives? So that's how we are nowadays. Same thing with the doxing. People say, "Oh, I don't want my address in the internet or in." Yeah, but in the old days we had a phone book. We knew where everybody lived, their addresses, and now all of a sudden you don't, because that's schemers, thieves, terrorists, criminals, flim-flams, con artists. They don't want their addresses out there. They don't want to know that you don't live in that address, that you moved. Remember, the phone books used to come out once a year. Remember those days? The phone book, the thick one. We used to get it once a year. So once a year, you knew where every business in Chicago was located and every person that had a phone was located in the city of Chicago. Now you don't have that. You don't have any of that. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's next to you. You don't know your neighbors now. That's one of the things that's happened. And part of that is this. It's, again, allowing criminality to happen. Look, if she's okay, that this lady on the police council, then what is she worried about? What is she worried about that the guy's asking if she lives there? She's running for election and says, you can't check where I live. That's basically what she said. I'm running for election, but you can't check if I live where I live. You have to trust me. Well, no, we don't. Because people lie and they cheat. We have Jason Lee, one of the high senior advisors of Brandon Johnson. He's a resident of Texas. He's breaking the residency laws of the city of Chicago as an employee. The inspector general said he should be terminated. He should be fired. Yet he's still working at City Hall. He just fired those two safety guys last week. That was Jason Lee. So we have criminals running our city. And then when you do something to I don't know, accountability, I guess you can say, right? You say, hey, I'm going to check. They say that's discrimination and harassment. Huh? What? So it's discrimination and harassment when I see 30 kids getting off the train to ask them, where are you going and what do you plan on doing? Well, you're harassing me. If you look at one of the videos from the looting last night, the kids were saying, don't touch me, don't touch me. While they were fighting, and the cops were breaking them up, yelling at the cops, don't touch me, while they're filming a fight. That's where we've come to in our society. We've developed a whole system that allows criminals to do criminal activity. We still have it. Look at what Brandon Johnson just did there. It's boarded up, right? The elevator don't work for the ADA. That's an ADA elevator broken down. You see that there? I showed you gates to ask for money, but yet the elevator is broken there. You just seen it, right? That was an ADA elevator broken by the Cultural Center. This is the Cultural Center. I love this building. You've never been to this building. That was the main library at one time, right here. It's a Cultural Center. You need to go in here. They have Tiffany. Oh, there you go. There's a guy standing right there. I see that there. That's a beautiful building. They have Tiffany glass in there. They have Tiffany chandeliers and Tiffany stained glass. So you should go check that building out. They used to have concerts in there every Wednesday. They used to have all kinds of art exhibits in there. It's a really beautiful building. And you see, you don't even have ADA access into that building, right? So you have a government that says they're for the people, they're for the disadvantaged, they're for the disenfranchised, right? Yet, what? The ADA the ADA elevator for the disadvantaged, marginalized people doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Do you get it? It's what I showed you guys yesterday. The handicapped spots are now blocked and you have to pay to get in there, which is a hazard, right? They already have paid parking in there. Why do you need the gates? Oh, why? Because you want to make more money now? Did anybody get a notice that now they're going to have gates at parks? I mean, this started on the Rainbow Beach. It's already been 6 months. I think it's part of a safety thing. That's what I think it is. That's more of what it is, and they're lying about it. I think it's more about safety so they can scan every car that comes in, right? But they won't tell you that because they said that what crime is done. See, if they do stuff, then it shows that they're lying. There's a kid right there begging, right, by himself. I think they're breaking the law there. What's that kid doing there, man? That was a kid by himself begging. I'm going to go around the block there. That's illegal, man. You see? Was it 2 years ago? Remember that hottest day? Was it last year or 2 years ago? Was it 25 or 24? Everybody always says, oh, you don't call the cops. I called the cops yesterday on the semi-truck, right, on Lakeshore Drive. What happened? The lady said, I ain't even going to make a report for you, right? And remember that time when the kids were out here it was the hottest day of the year. It was the hottest day of the year. And the kids were out here selling chocolates or whatever they're doing, candies on the corner, and I called the cops, and the cops did nothing. So the point I'm trying to make here is, at what point in time are we going to say enough is enough? Now, that's one aspect of it. But the second thing is, how do we reverse it? When you have young people screaming while they're filming violence, you can't touch me, right? While they're engaged in illegal activity, in a mob action, then how do you fix that? How do you correct that behavior, right? I don't know how far north it was. Let's keep going there. Yeah, how do you correct that behavior, right? How do you correct, like, that's brainwashed, right? First of all, you're engaged in illegal activity because there's fighting going on, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, someone says, get out of here, don't be part of this. Third, there's something really bad going on that you shouldn't probably be around, and you can't make a proper personal decision, right, to not be engaged or not be in the vicinity of violent actions. So you don't have reasonableness, right? You're not reasonably equipped to what? Make your personal decision for your personal safety, right? And the cop says, get out of here, and then you start screaming at him. So how do you reverse that? You can't reverse that. That's a brainwashed person. It's going to take multiple years. It's going to take many, many, many years to reverse that kind of thinking. It's going to be extremely difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying that's what we're dealing with. Look at those videos. Look at those videos. Look at the videos. It's not, the violence is one part of it. It's one part of it. You got people running around with cameras trying to film violence and screaming at the top of their lungs. You hear those kids screaming at the top of their lungs in those videos? Watch those videos. They're disturbing videos, by the way. They're very disturbing. So we got to figure out two things. One, how to stop it. How to stop what's happening. That's the first thing. And then we got to figure out how we're going to fix that, right? How are we going to fix 20 to 30 years of educational corruption, right? That's what we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with overnight. We're not dealing with crack babies anymore like in the 80s and 90s. Well, we're dealing with systemic problems. What's up, Juan? How's Texas doing? Yeah, it's coming down. It's pretty bad. How you guys doing in Texas? You guys okay or what? Because I don't know if you guys are going to go get that south, because you guys had that 100-degree heat down there, didn't you, Juan? I thought so. You, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and California, you had the record heat down there, didn't you? I thought you did. Juan here is from Texas. He used to be in Chicago. He's a long-time viewer. He remembers all the migrant videos I used to do. Remember those migrant videos? I got so many people that come on my page. They just try to be, I don't know what they do. It's kind of weird. It's like when you're, I don't know, when you're at a bar or you're at a place and you're with your friends and you're talking smack or whatever you're doing and you're having a good time and somebody comes in and starts saying stuff to you, right? It's like, who is this guy, right? So Juan is one of the original people who've been watching SubX.News. I don't even, maybe 2-3 years now. He's from Texas, right? We used to talk about how the migrants are in Texas and how they are up here. So I like seeing my old time viewers. There's a whole bunch of other guys and women, right? Trina's been watching for many years. Marietta's been watching for many years. And here's the thing why I'm saying this is what I talked about yesterday. Remember what I talked about yesterday? It's going to take all of us to fix this. It's going to take you, me, and everybody to fix this, right? It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by magic, and it's not going to happen quick. Now, it's not going to be one president, President Trump, right? It's not going to be that. That's not how it's going to be. It's going to take a long time to fix what we've been through. Maybe 1 or 2 generations. I don't even know if my kids' generation, my children are going to be able to fix it. There you go. See that there? How are you going to fix that? There you go, right there. That's migrant peddlers using children as props. See that there? See that there? She's using her child as a prop. See that there? That's what she's doing, right? See, how do you fix that? You just seen, what did you just see? And it's getting cold out, right? See, that's a prop. She's using her children as a prop. So how do you fix this, right? How do you fix it when the police don't take care of this? You're looking at illegal activity. You can't use children as props for peddling in the city and in the state. It's against the law. And you just seen how many cops walking around. Right? Should I call 911? What is this, Madison and, yeah, we can call. We'll call them, right? Right? There you go, right? She's using her child as a prop. There you go. Madison and Michigan Avenue, right? I'll call up if you want, and we'll see what the police have to say, right? You seen the police on Michigan Avenue, right? I'll call up. Well, if you want me to do that, I'll do it just for an experiment, right? And I'll put it on speakerphone, right? And we'll see what they have to say, right? Before the 4:30 news, right? There you go. That's illegal activity, right? You can't use children as props, right? See, that guy just went through the red light, right? Using children as props to peddle and beg on city streets is illegal by city, municipal code, and by state law. Yet the Chicago police allow it to happen. 4:25 p.m., March 26, 2026, Madison and Michigan Avenue. That's what we got. How do you change that when the police allow the crime to happen? See, that's where I'm getting to here. The kids were screaming and yelling. Now we got to work on that in the schools, right? And I'm going to talk about another case. But how do we change that? You know, everybody argues, oh, it's the parents. It's the parents. How about if the parents are fucked up? How about the parents are fucked up? You just seen the cops not doing shit. So now what do we do? So everybody talks about the parents. You just seen someone doing some illegal stuff on the street with her kid. So that's the parent and that's the kid. So what's the solution there? In the old days, they locked up the parent and put them in jail or a mental institute and put the kids in reform school or wards as a state. Because they said you're not a parent that's functional to take care of your family. That's what they in the old days did. In the old days, that's how they did it. And then people said that was discriminatory, it was traumatic, it was blah, 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 right? Maybe it was. I don't know. I didn't live in the old days. I was born in 1968, so I don't know what they did in the 1920s. I've read books on them. I've read a lot of stuff that happened in those days. And some of it was okay, and some of it was really, really bad, what happened in those days. There's a lot of things that were discriminatory. There was laws that you could discriminate against people. You know, there was a law in the United States where Jack Johnson got busted for this one, marrying an opposite race. Everybody knew we had race laws, right? Everybody knows that? So we have to balance our ideas, right? We can't just say it's this or that. We have to start understanding that we have to be, and I hate to use this term, progressive. We need to go forward. We can't look back to the 1950s and say, I want to be Leave It to Beaver, and I want to be whatever other I Dream of Genie show, or whatever you think you want to be, right? Or Rhoda, or the Dick Van Dyke show, whatever those things are. Those are images that we have in our head of when we grew up. That's not what we're living in no more, right? We're not living in that no more. We have to go forward, and we have to think about how to fix our society. Let's listen to the news, 4:30, it's local.
The Chicago Board of Education may be ready to pull the Help Wanted sign out of the window. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall with an update on the search for a new school CEO.
This is Glenn Marshall. 2 men are in custody charged with gunning down a West Side contractor killed just steps from his office near the United Center.
Plus, Iran and the U.S. each draw their line in the sand, with neither side willing to budge on a ceasefire deal. Sports, Cubs still taking on the Nationals at Wrigley. Let's see. Looks like it's a final 10-4 for the Nationals in WBBM business.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. War-weary investors sending Wall Street tumbling today. The Dow down 470 points. The Nasdaq down 522. The S&P lost 115.
Light rain, 50 degrees right now, and live weather is our lead story this half hour. There's a threat for severe weather across Chicagoland this afternoon. We're going to tell you what to expect now. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brian Thompson. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Lisa, watching a handful of storms moving across the area right now. Well, we have some light rain in Chicago, but just off to the south and west between Brookfield and Orland Park, pretty heavy storm coming in toward Hickory Hills. This could be producing some hail and certainly some heavy rain as it continues to move to the east. We also have a pretty heavy downpour, maybe some small hail with this cell up around the Schaumburg area in the northwestern corner of Cook County. There's been some heavier downpours, some stronger storms, parts of Will County as well. There is a severe thunderstorm watch now in effect for Will and Grundy counties, as well as northwest Indiana until midnight. That's where we'll have the best shot at some severe weather into this evening. Will be near and south of I-80. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We're going to check in with Brian periodically, and there's a ground stop at O'Hare right now because of the weather. We're going to check in with traffic and everything you need as far as what the weather is doing right now, coming up all afternoon. Well, the most anticipated Chicago Cubs season in years began today after the postseason ended in the NL Division last fall, and it begins at Wrigley Field, which, if you aren't a diehard Cubs fan, Senior Vice President of Ticketing Cale Venom says the friendly combine's hosting several themed nights this season.
If you're a little bit more of a casual Cubs fan, there's something generally for all sorts of different groups. So we've got our Survivor 50th anniversary collaboration. We've got our Hello Kitty night. We've got our Heritage series with Japanese heritage, Hispanic heritage, and others. So truly there is something for everyone at Wrigley Field.
In addition to baseball, there are a number of concerts, a comedy show featuring John Mulaney, and, of course, the Savannah Bananas coming to the north side. That's happened at Wrigley Field this year. Cubs lost their opener 10-4. Chris Summer's going to have the latest coming up in sports at 4:46. The interim leader of Chicago's public schools now poised to get the job full-time.
The Chicago Board of Education is now set to vote Monday on a resolution to hire the district's interim CEO, Dr. Macklin King, for the permanent position. She's overseen the district's operations for the entire school year following the board's decision to fire school Schools Chief Pedro Martinez at the end of 2024. The Chicago native is a former teacher, principal, and city hall advisor who sat for interviews this week with Mayor Brandon Johnson. The mayor told reporters on Tuesday the process was going well, adding that the district was ending on a strong note.
Right now, our focus is going to be on, getting this class of 2026 across the finish line.
Dr. King's tenure has included leading the board to approve a budget that did not include short-term borrowing called for by Mayor Johnson and his allies. Board sources tell me she's expected to have strong support. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Two men now charged in the shooting death of a West Side contractor this week.
67-year-old Jerry Lewis was shot in the head while walking outside a condo building in the 2100 block of West Madison, just blocks from the United Center on Chicago's West Side. Chicago police say 28-year-old Nassie Mason and 31-year-old Irving Harris approached Lewis with guns and opened fire just before 1 in the afternoon Tuesday. Officers arrested both men within minutes in the same block where the shooting happened. Both face 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of being a felon in possession of a weapon. A detention hearing is set for Friday at 26 in California. Colleagues say Lewis was more than a contractor. He was a mentor who shaped lives across the community and the city. He leaves behind a wife and son. No motive has been released. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBB.
4:34 around the world now. Iran and the U.S. appears at an impasse, hardening their positions over ceasefire talks. Now, President Trump says if Iran doesn't agree to a deal soon, there will be, quote, no turning back. CBS's Natalie Brand tells us he's also giving negotiators time to talk while preparing to expand the fighting if necessary.
During his cabinet meeting, President Trump also revealed the gift he says he received from the Iranian delegation the administration is negotiating with, 10 oil tankers allowed to sail through the Strait of Hormuz.
They were real, and I think they were Pakistani flagged. And I said, well, I guess we're dealing with the right people.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident shipping traffic will continue to increase.
Iranian state media has said the regime has complete doubt about Washington's willingness to negotiate. Meantime, deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife appeared today in federal court in New York City. It's a preliminary hearing after their capture in January. They're facing drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges and have previously pled not guilty. CBS's Bradley Blackburn tells us what's been happening outside the courtroom.
Groups of demonstrators, both for and against Maduro, rallied here outside the courthouse during the hearing.
80% of my people in my country is expecting and waiting for the United States to do what they have to do to sentence this guy to the maximum they can do.
We are standing in solidarity with the Venezuelan people who on the ground are defending their democratically elected president.
The judge has not dismissed the charges after lawyers for Maduro and his wife argued that the Trump administration is violating their rights by blocking the Venezuelan government from paying their legal fees. Coming up in a minute, we're going to check in on low gas prices and your traffic and weather and potential of any storms moving in. Coming up, it's 4:36.
Puccini's Madama Butterfly returns to Lyric Opera of Chicago, March 14th through April 12th. Experience the beauty and tragedy of this heartbreaking story and unforgettable music. Madama Butterfly. Tickets at lyricopera.org.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can.
So, what did Sherry just say? What did Sherry just say? Look, we're experiencing this everywhere. Sherry just said, I-55, they're selling crap. Forest View PD state will do nothing. So it's against the law to be a pedestrian on a highway, to be in a road. It's illegal. You can't do it. Yet they do it. See? So we can argue about parents. We can even argue about God. I believe in God. I believe in spirituality. I think there's a place for character development, moral development, going to church, having a God that you worship on a regular basis, praying. That's important. That's really important. I'll tell you this. I was in a mess many, many years ago. I used to pray 3 damn times a day. I think God got tired of me. He goes, yeah, that's enough. So God did this to me. He goes, you know what? I'm going to fix you up because I don't want to hear you every day. So you fixed me up. That's how it works. Prayer works. I get it. I make I say some things about prayer, especially for violent actions, when they say, oh, let's pray about this. And look, it's important, but we need to do what? Other work. So if the kids are screaming at the cops, if you just seen people begging illegally on Michigan Avenue, that's Michigan Avenue there, right? I just got a tip from somebody. Let me write this up. I throw it out there as a rumor. I just got a tip about something. I'm checking if I can share it. I get tips from people. So I got a really messed up tip. Yay, Marietta. So think about it. When the cops aren't doing something and they're patrolling Michigan Avenue, and then you see the people begging down the street from where they're patrolling, then what are they patrolling? Remember I said, are they preventing crime? Me and Marietta's been talking about this for almost a year. I think we've been talking about a year. They're not preventing crime. Marietta has a couple of cases that, and I'm not going to get into the particulars of it, and she's documented. She's a good citizen. She's a good resident. She's not a person that goes after people that she says, hey, man, this is affecting me. Can you do something about it? And yet, nothing is done about it. In fact, we have the documents that show nothing's being done about it. You see where I'm going about it? So we have a long term. This is not a today, tomorrow, next year, or 2 years from now solution. It's not. It's not. And I hate to say that, man. I hate to say it. Oh, he's got a nice Cadillac here, man. I don't know. Should we pull him or what? You okay or what? What do you need? A jump or what? What do you got? You need a jump or what? You need a jump or what? Or you don't know? You need a jump? All right, let me turn around, all right? I think I have a jumper. Let me check in my truck, all right? Close your door, though, so it don't get smashed. Got it? So let's see what we're going to do. We're going to try to help. This guy's got a nice Cadillac. That's what we're going to help him, right? I think I got the charger in my car. I have to double check for it. Oh. Let me check. You got cables or what? You got cables? You got cables? Oh.
You need some help? You need help?
Yeah, probably. You got cables, the sideline of this.
It's been a while.
Get him going. Gotta help a guy with a car like this, my brother. That is classic, right? Alright. You know, the Reddit, whatever it is. Yeah, well, why don't you just, put it in this car right here. Is it going to reach or do I got to pull right there? Yeah, bring that stuff over here, my brother. All right, tell me where to go because I got my hood up, right? Wait up. Yeah, check it, all right? Is it or not? And then if not, I'll pull into the other lane. You got it or not? Oh, man. There we go. Look at this. And by the way, we're SubX.News. We live feeding here. There you go. See that young man there? What's your name, my brother?
Trey.
How did they get a hold of you on the Instagram?
SideQuest Trey on all platforms.
There you go. See that young man? He's got a nice sweater there. Look at him, man. See that young guy? And then we got this guy with this classic Cadillac here. Man, look at that. Man, I want to go date somebody with that thing, my brother. All right, let's see if this starts. All right, I'm going to push the gas, all right? We're helping this guy out. There you go, right? There you go. See that? We're starting up. Is it going? Oh, it's not touching or something? Does he got power? We got to get this guy going. It's too nice of a car, right? It's sparking, right? Is it clicking at all or not? Is it? It's barely, clicking.
Barely.
Hey, turn. Where you at? Turn it a little bit. Why'd you turn it? Let's see how it sounds. Just leave it. You're gonna have to put some gas in there though. It's going. It needs to charge a little bit. He's empty.
Yeah.
You heard it, right?
All right. What if you like hold the rev for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You tell me what to do. All right?
All right, man.
More like that. Like that. But he's got to push the gas because you know that's got the carburetor. It doesn't have injectors. That car has a carburetor. It doesn't have injectors. So maybe he's got to get in the front seat. Don't flood it though. Yeah, you know how to do it, my brother. Sorry about that. We're doing what we're doing. Did it go?
It ain't hot on.
What does that sound like? The gas ain't going in there or what?
I'm not sure what it is, man. It's smoking, so I'm thinking maybe something else is the issue.
Or is it smoking from the back? Where is it smoking from?
Does it normally smoke from right there? It normally does that?
Let's see, tell him to crank it over and let's hear it one more time. Oh man, he's got some problems there, man. Yeah, you got something else going on there, man. Man, that's I don't know what he get. I don't think that's gonna help right here, man. You got something else going on, brother. I think he's somebody's got to call somebody. I don't want to pull him off the street. I got things to pull people, but I don't want to wreck his car because these are front-wheel drives. You got smoke coming out of your car, bro, right out of the head. Yeah, you got some oil burning there. I don't know what it is.
This was 100% head. His headlights wouldn't even be coming on like this.
Yeah.
So I think it's something else.
It's just you got when it's like that means there's oil or something in there. That's your head. So something's burning wrong in there. It should still kick over.
Right.
You might have oil. There might be because you can smell the oil. That's oil burning. So it's something that's going on here with his head. It looks like.
Yeah. If that's something dead, we wouldn't be having it. But look, they go off when we try to start it.
It's not getting enough power, man. It's not. Yeah, something's wrong. You might have 2-3 problems in there, right? But that's bad right there, man. So what do you want to do, brother? You want to keep trying, or what do you want to do? Oh, you want to try one more time? Almost. Nah, I don't think you're gonna get it going, my brother. What's your verdict here?
I'm not feeling too confident myself.
So you don't get sick, man. Yeah, I don't. Something's. There's a couple of problems here. I don't know if it's not sparking it. It's not going boom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just blowing out the oil smoke there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to mess with too much.
Yeah, well, you. Nah, you ain't gonna start, my brother. It smells like you got oil in your engine, like your head's busted or something. That's what it sounds like. What do you want to do? So I don't want to pull you. I got stuff to pull you to the side. Are you gonna just call a tow truck or what?
All right, y'all. I'm gonna catch that for sure. All right, y'all.
All right, you gotta get going. All right.
Yeah. All
Take it easy, my brother. Yeah, you got oil coming here, so I don't know if you got some. It looks like your head might be. Something might be wrong with your head because you got oil burning coming out of here, out of your carburetor. So you might have your head is busted. So yeah, something's wrong there because you got oil smell coming out of here. The oil is coming out of your carburetor, which is really bad.
Right.
So you might have oil. Something might be wrong with your heads. I don't know. What do you want to do? I mean, I don't want to wreck your car, man. You gonna get a tow truck or what?
Yeah. The only thing I don't have the tow service on it. AAA don't have. I used all of them up already.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. The city might come, but you don't want the city to work because you got front wheel drive, don't you?
Yep.
It's front wheel. I know these cars, man. I worked on these before. Yeah, I got tow straps, but I don't know what that's gonna do for you. You want me to tow you? I mean, I can. But somebody's got to get onto the car and hook it up.
Right.
I can pull you to the side, or are you gonna wait here? Or?
The UPS truck, that FedEx truck down there.
Which one?
It was a FedEx truck.
Yeah, I don't see one. What about it?
I want to pull behind the truck.
Yeah, I got to look for my hooks and everything like that. So I don't know where to hook up on your stuff. I don't want to wreck your car. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't want to rip your bumpers off. And I know you're front wheel drive, so I don't remember how to hook it up down there. I don't want to break your car, my brother.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You got a phone to call somebody to tow you or what?
Yeah, I'm going to call my brother, see if he's available.
Yeah, you can tell them to get a tow truck out here. You might need a flatbed. I don't know.
Yep.
Because you got the front wheel drive. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to wreck your front wheel drive.
Right.
I don't want to put a hook down there and it rips your. Because the drive is, I forget where the drive is. Is it this way or that way? I don't remember which one it is. It's right here. It's one drive, right?
Yeah.
I know these, right? All right. All right, well, let me give you your cables, all right? Yeah, my buddy of mine had an Eldorado, a blue one. It had a It was a convertible. It was nice. We broke down in, I don't know where we broke down, like about 100 miles from Chicago. We had to get the parts and rebuild the whole front end. That's when they had the junkyards out by the river over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are nice cars to work on. Well, sorry about it. I couldn't help you. You want to keep this open or you want to close this?
I'm going to close it.
All right. I'll stay till you do it, all right? Why don't you grab the hood, I'll grab the stick. Why don't you go over here? That way it don't fall, and I'll grab the stick out of there and you can close your own hood, all right? Ready? There you go. Be careful. I don't want to break your nice car. This is a classic.
You're right.
If you were like mine, I don't care. I told you. I've been out mountains and in rivers, my brother. That's a beautiful car, man. How long have you had it?
23 years.
Keep that, man. That's a beautiful. My name is John.
I'm Eric.
Nice to meet you. Sorry I couldn't help you, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, take it easy, Eric. All right. Yeah, he's got something wrong with his head there, man. That's a beautiful car there. All right, we got to get out of here, right? Let me... We tried. All you can do is try, right, everybody? All right, let's get out of here. It's a beautiful car, man. I ain't got time to be doing street mechanic here. And I don't want to wreck this car. I don't want to be liable for it. Like I said, if you heard me talking, I'm like, yeah, if it were a little junkier or like a newer model or whatever it was, I'll hook up my hooks to you. But I'm not dealing with that, man. That's too nice of a car for me to be messing with, putting tow hooks on. And that's a front wheel drive there. I know those cars. You don't want to wreck the front wheel drive on there. So there we go. So do you see though? People help. So society, it's like me and Marietta always talk about. There's more good people than bad. So you see, the young man helped us, and he was waiting for the bus. He didn't have to help us. He's like, man, I'll help you. And he started helping. You kind of get it? So there's a lot of people like that. There's more people like that than the people we've seen downtown last night tearing up our city. There's more. That ain't that many. 400, what they say, it was 300 or 400 kids down there. Even if there's 1,000 kids down there. You know how many kids are in CPS? 300,000. 300,000. And then there's about maybe about 100,000 that are of teenage age. Maybe close to that. There might be 100,000, maybe 75,000. So if you got 400 or 500 kids downtown causing trouble, you got another 50,000 that are good. So this is the trick. I always told you guys the story of Paris Slack. How do we activate those good kids, right? How do we activate the guy that just tried to help us, right? How do we activate that guy, right? He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I don't know what he does in his house and his personal life and his philosophies and all of that. I don't care about that. What I care about is when we're out here on the public sphere, in the public areas, that we work together to make ourselves better, that we clean it up, that we don't blow meth and weed smoke in each other's faces while I'm walking down the street, right? That we figure out how to occupy these buildings here, right? How do we tell people and tell each other, hey, man, you're a little loud out there. I got a person that's sending me stuff about Garfield Park. They play music loud. And I love Garfield Park. But she lives in those apartments along Hamlin over there, right? And she says at night they're loud, and it keeps me up. Well, okay, what do? Do you move to the... How about moving to the other part of the park, right? How about moving, right? That's all you have to do. She's not saying don't play your music. I don't say don't smoke your weed. I don't say that. I believe in decriminalization. I believe in that. I don't believe in the war on drugs. I think it helped locking a bunch of people up, but I don't, making things illegal is not how you solve things, right? Because if you make it illegal, sometimes it makes it more enticing, right? When you tell your children, everybody who has children knows what I'm talking about. When you tell your kid no, most of the times they listen to you. And I'll tell you a funny story about my kids, and then we're going to listen to 5 o'clock news. They listen to you, or to some extent. But if you forbid them and prohibit them, what are the kids going to do? They might figure it out how to do it. Why? Because it's the what is it? The forbidden fruit, right? That's Adam and Eve stuff, right? The forbidden fruit, right? You want to try that thing that's forbidden, right? That's written in the Bible. That's biblical stuff, right? So saying no and prohibition sometimes doesn't work. So what you got to do is do education and talk about how to fix things, right? And I can't fix everything. We need a young person like that young man that was help us put on the things and listen to what did the young man say? Yeah, man, I don't know about that mechanic stuff. He was pretty cool. He was a pretty cool dude. I like that guy, man. I don't know. I got to check the video and see what his name was, right? We're going to go back down south here, right? Because I want to show you this story here that's messed up. And you see, this is what we need help with, right? We need help with fixing this stuff. And this is where I'm going to say this. And I talk about generational change. It's going to take a long time to fix it. But guess what? If we focus on the positive and we focus on good young men like that young man was trying to help both of us older guys. We're both older guys. Then we can succeed. If we help young people to be successful, and we prop up the good young people, and we prop up the kids that are trying to do right, we might speed that process up. Now, here's the problem. You just heard, and you're going to hear again at 5 o'clock. They just killed a man that was doing that on the west side, the United Center. All right, let's listen to the news.
For a second missed paycheck Friday if Congress doesn't reach a deal.
We're political pawn pieces or something. It feels like all of our lives are being messed with.
Houston airport officials are expecting even more passenger traffic through Friday with big events in town. They are warning travelers to give themselves extra time and remain flexible.
President Trump is postponing his threatened strikes against Iran's power plants. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
The president says talks with Iran are going very well, so he won't attack Iranian energy sites, at least for now. In a post on social media, Trump wrote, quote, "As per Iranian government request, please let this statement serve to represent that I am pausing the period of energy plant destruction by 10 days to Monday, April 6th, 2026 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time." The president also stated talks are ongoing despite what he called erroneous statements to the contrary.
Uncertainty persists about what is happening with the war with Iran. President Trump says the talks are ongoing with Iran, and Iran says there are no talks. At the same time, CBS's Chris Livesay in Dubai reports Israel's military says it has killed a key figure in Iran's military.
They say they took out the commander of the IRGC Navy. In fact, according to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this is the man responsible for blocking the Strait of Hormuz near where I am here in the Gulf.
Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife have appeared in federal court in New York City for a preliminary hearing following their capture in January. Their lawyers have argued that the U.S. is violating Maduro's rights by not allowing Maduro to use Venezuelan government funds for his legal defense. CBS's Bradley Blackburn with more on where Maduro is being detained.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News that since his January arrest, Maduro has been kept under special administrative measures at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, in a secure unit for the most high-risk detainees.
The U.S. Treasury says that in honor of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, President Trump's signature will appear on future U.S. paper currency, along with the Secretary of the Treasury, marking the first time in history for a sitting president. This is CBS News.
Check this out. This is how bad our city has become, right? Watch, let me show you. So this place has been abandoned for a little while. It's all plywooded up, right? See that? But they're breaking in. See that there? They're breaking into this place. See that there? They're breaking into this place. See that? That's what our downtown has become, right? Right there. That's tomorrow's picture, right? This is downtown Chicago, right there. Right. That's downtown, man. State Street. This is State Street right here. Right. That's Adams. I think that's Madison over there. Right there. That's what you got there, man. See that there?
Some quarter-sized hail. Large hail is the main concern with these storms in northwest Indiana right now.
That's what you got.
Some storms even producing some smaller hail northern parts of Cook County and otherwise, so we do have a kind of a scattering of showers across the area. But again, some of these storms could be on the stronger side, especially near and south of I-80 into early this evening. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And Brian will join us again in about 10-12 minutes. Well, crowds on the city's southwest side are continuing to pay their respects this hour to a fallen Chicago firefighter. WBBM's Andy Dane is at the visitation for Michael Altman.
Outside of St. Rita High School, Chicago fire trucks raise a massive American flag.
5:04 p.m. downtown Chicago on State Street. This is how bad our city has become. Look at that. Squatters and everybody's busting into these places. You see that there? It's all plywooded up. There you go. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Our city is getting worse. They're breaking into these places now. There you go. That's another building abandoned right there. All these abandoned buildings, man, they ain't doing nothing with them. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Let's get out of here, right?
Season. We've done this for the last couple of years now. Huge Cubs fans, so it's like a holiday here. We've gone to every opening day for the past, say, 15 years. It's always just like a rebirth.
Cubs fans were up bright and early to get a photo in front of the Wrigley Field marquee for opening day. Cubs senior vice president of ticketing, Cale Venom, says for these fans, the Cubs have some very special merch available this year to celebrate the 2016 World Series win 10-year anniversary and the 150th anniversary of the team itself.
We've got our bobblehead series. We've got Ben Zobrist, celebrating his famous hit in Cleveland. We've got, the Kerry Wood 20 strikeout bobbleheads.
And for more casual fans or even non-sports people, Venom says the Cubs are hosting various themed games such as Pride, Girls Night Out, and several Heritage Nights.
Maybe, the Cubs isn't something that they grew up with, or they're not
Chicago,
diehards, but they can identify with a group
Adams.
of people and come out and celebrate, and then experience
like
Wrigley Field and experience the magic of being a Cubs fan and being in this beautiful historic ballpark.
Carolina Derribe, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And Cubs lose their home opener, and we'll get the latest on the Cubs and the Sox who got killed in Milwaukee coming up at 5:16 from Chris Emma of The Score. A member of the civilian board that oversees the Chicago Police Department says she will not be intimidated by what she says is a campaign by the city's police officers union to get her off the commission. But the person at the heart of her allegations is denying those claims.
10 o'clock at night. Who's trying to come see about me?
Javier Minor says that was her first question when she found out that a member of a far South Side Police District Council came to her apartment building on the night of February 17th, allegedly asking to see her lease. She's on the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability, but she has not been slated for reappointment, which she says is the result of a pressure campaign by supporters of the Fraternal Order of Police.
I will not allow intimidation from anyone.
I bet you she don't live
from
there.
Anyone.
The louder you scream, the more you're
Minor's
guilty.
late-night visitor was retired police officer Lee Bilecki, who's been censured by the commission. In an interview, he confirms he visited Minor's building to see if she lived there, but did not ask for her lease. He tells me he sent an apology the next day and says on reflection the whole experience was, as he put it, unfortunate. Minor's asking the mayor's office for an investigation. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9.
That's good.
WBBM.
Spokesperson of the commission says the 6 candidates slated for appointment are highly qualified and described claims about the process as false and misleading. It's 5:08, time for traffic. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. How are things moving, Lisa Costi?
Not so great if you're on DeSable Lake Shore Drive. Southbound, you are heavy from the Chicago River down to 18th.
That's due to a crash in a lane, and then pretty backed up from 50th to Hayes. Northbound onto Double Lakeshore Drive, you're heavy from Balbo up to Chicago Avenue. We've got slowdowns for you on the tollways, like the Tri-State. Northbound heavy from the Bishopford to Halstead and Cermak to the Eisenhower. Southbound heavy from the Benson Mill Bridge down to Ogden, and then the Stevenson to 9th and 1 I-80 to past Halstead. The Jane Addams, we got long-term road work on the
I keep telling everybody SubX News is different. You see I'm changing the show a little bit, making it a little more interactive. I wish we would have had a mechanic here and could fix his car. That would have been cool. But hey, that's the way. He's still over there, but I'm not going to deal with that. I don't want to break his nice car, you know what I mean? It's raining. Oh, we gotta go, man. I'm gonna ask these guys if they want a hot drink or if they want. I'm gonna turn around and talk to these guys if they want something to eat or if they want something to drink. I'll get them a big cup. I don't think they like the big coffee stuff, right? Because that makes them go to pee here, and then they gotta find a place to go to the washroom. That's the other thing to think about, right? When you're homeless, you can't give the homeless whatever you think they need because. Right? It's not what you think. You gotta always think of how they're living, right?
Of course, south of Chicago and into northwest Indiana right now. And that's the story into really early this evening. A low tonight of 31, a lot colder tomorrow with a high only of 43. Thunderstorms right now, 49 degrees at O'Hare, 50 Midway, only 45 Lakefront. It's 5:10.
Improving your home can be easy and affordable. Save time and money with one easy visit to this weekend's free admission home show at the Oak Lawn Pavilion. For details, visit oaklawnhomeshow.com today.
We're gonna make a U-turn here. I'm gonna show you. There's no one here, right?
Retirement no longer seem to be working. Listen to Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth Management Saturdays at 7 a.m. to learn how to prepare for your retirement. Grow My Retirement this Saturday at 7 a.m. on 780.
I'm gonna go in, turn around, and talk to them. Right? So give me a second here. Right?
What if I told you the secret to feeling better could be as easy as relaxing in red light?
Downtown Chicago, Ida B. Wells, the old Congress. I'm gonna go in and
treatment that helps reduce inflammation, speeds up recovery, improves blood circulation, and boosts collagen. It's all in one, a holistic wellness miracle.
So Ray Wellness at LA Tan now offers a full-body advanced red light treatment with red and near-infrared lights. Visit your nearest LA Tan locations and get your first week absolutely free. That's right, free. Visit LATan.com to unlock the power of light therapy.
It is 5:11. Getting your prescription filled could soon mean a drone dropping it off at your front door.
Advocate Health is partnering with drone delivery company Zipline to bring prescription lab results and medical supplies directly to your home.
So it looks like the city is trying to clean something up here at 5:11 p.m. I don't know what they're trying to do. They got some suitcases there. See that there? We're on Ida B. Wells and State. That's somebody's stuff there. See that there?
North Carolina then expands to Chicago and Milwaukee. Advocate Health says they expect the program
people
to
live
support
underneath here, right? That's
100,000
State Street right there.
No word yet on an exact start date, but the rollout is expected to begin next year. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9.
Our former Hobart Township employees are suing the township trustee. They claim their complaints led to their firings.
Diana Brooks and Kendra Krebs make a number of claims: sexual harassment by another employee, hostile work environment, discrimination, retaliation.
Somebody's still living out here on the sidewalk on Ida B. Wells and State. I don't know what's so hard about getting this guy a space to live in.
Of sexual harassment over a 14-month period,
5:11
and
p.m.
nothing was done.
March 26,
Both eventually
2026.
lost their jobs. The suit names the township and Williams, who's running for re-election. The women also allege misuse of township funds. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An autopsy scheduled tomorrow in downstate Sangamon County after a Springfield man was found under a golf course lawnmower. The 51-year-old man worked for the Springfield Park District and was taken to the hospital after he was discovered at Lincoln Greens. He died shortly after arriving. And the 65-year-old father of former South Suburban politician Tiffany Henyard was shot and critically injured last night in Chicago. Henyard confirmed in a social media post that her father, Ronald, was shot in the neck, saying in part that the tragedy has shaken her and it reflects a reality that, quote, far too many families are facing. She then called on Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson to reconsider accepting President Trump's help addressing violent crime. As for the investigation, Chicago police say no one is in custody. Well, the changing business of cable television is throwing the ultimate curveball.
Everybody heard that. That shooting we were on last night on 13th and Kedzie, that was Tiffany Henyard's father.
S&P Global Intelligence says that's down from 80% in 2011. That's a big problem for Major League franchises that relied on revenue from local cable TV.
Thanks for the heads up, my brother. I appreciate you. Stay safe.
It's also a problem for cord-cutting fans who want to watch the game on a streaming service.
Who are going to have a devil of a time trying to go through 8 or 9 or 10 different...
So that was Tiffany Henyard's father out there.
This season takes place
that we were at yesterday
player lockout.
On 13th and Kedzie.
Teams are digging in for a protracted work stoppage next season. A salary cap is the main sticking point. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
With combat operations in Iran underway, be here for the facts, the context, and the important developments as they happen. Listen every day for continuing coverage. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Wesley 2 days ago, I don't even remember. I can't keep track of all this crime anymore. That's how much crime we got. When was that? Tuesday? I'm looking for it in my feed here. I can't even find it no more.
Yeah, they don't play around.
Oh, man, how long ago was that?
Lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
I kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with...
I can't find that post now.
Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-955-0657. 800-955-0657.
So that shooting on 13th and Kedzie, that was Tiffany Henyard's father.
Optima Tax Relief.
That's who that was.
For complete details, please visit Optima Tax
Relief. You know what you say? We got to take care of crime, right?
5:15.
So everybody's starting to say the truth now because it's starting to come close to their homes, right?
Sewer and electric. What's the status of the thunderstorms now, Brian Thompson?
Yeah, still watching some of these stronger storms in northwest Indiana. Lisa, these are moving very quickly, though. We have storms that have been moving through Lake and Porter counties. We have one storm moving east of Chesterton now in Porter County. Still a warning out. Severe thunderstorm warning until 5:30 for northeastern parts of Porter County, but that storm's almost moved out of the area. These storms are moving at about 70 to 75 miles per hour, not the wind speeds. Again, these are the
What's up, Davey?
Actual storms are moving, so these are really cruising along.
I needed you, man. I was working on an old Cadillac Eldorado, man. Where were you at? I needed a mechanic. As a Cadillac Eldorado, it looked like it was blowing oil out of the carburetor. That must be a head problem. You know, when you're blowing oil out of the carburetor and it's burnt oil, that's his head's busted. I already pretty much know that. I'm not a good mechanic, but I think that.
Midnight for Will and Grundy counties, as well as northwest Indiana. Later tonight, the storms move out. Some clearing late, much colder, low 31. Brisk and chilly tomorrow, some sun, high 43. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, high 51. And then warmer Sunday, Monday, high 64. Sunday, 72. Monday.
13th and Kedzie shooting.
50 at Midway, 53 in Joliet, 45 at the Lakefront, going down to 31. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Brian, thanks so much for the information. It's 5:16 now. Time to visit Lover Motors, Mercedes-Benz, and Lincolnwood. And, you know, we're all very excited about opening day each year, but a rough start for both of our teams.
Right? That's the head, right, Dave? I know that. The oil is getting in. Then you got, because the gas goes down the carburetor. If anything comes up the carburetor, that means it's the heads. If it's white smoke, it's water. If it's the other smoke, like oil smoke, then it's the oil, right? That's the head busted. I know that, man. Yeah, I took a few shop classes when I was younger. What's up, Chewy, my brother? Our good friend from almost, I think it's 20 years ago now, I know Chewy. If you want to help anybody and you want to do anything with the homeless or the unhoused in Chicago, Chewy is your man. He is the guy. He is the only guy that I know that should be running anything in the city of Chicago. I known him 20 years. 20 years me and him used to do some crazy stuff. That was back when here, I want to post this one. It was Tiffany Henyard's dad. Victim. I want to post that. It was Tiffany Henyard's dad. So you heard me when I said I had a tip, but I couldn't talk about it. So someone sent it to me, but I don't burn my sources, right? Someone sent it to me before the newscast, before the news said it. But I don't burn my sources. I never do, unless someone says I can do it, right?
Stop and go from Randolph to 18th, but that earlier crash is clear, so that should be improving for you. Still heavy 50 at the Hayes on the northbound side of the...
I don't know. I have an idea of what I want to do tonight.
The Eden's now 47 minutes, and you're heavy from the spur road to Skokie Boulevard, and then Dempster to the junction. Outbound is a 27-minute ride to Lake Cook. The Kennedy in hour 3 now in from O'Hare to downtown. 32.
So Chewy.
33 to Montrose.
And this is one I'll say. I'm going to put down this other phone that I got because I just posted at Tiffany Henyard's. 13 in Kedzie report is that was Tiffany Henyard's dad. That one that was in the alley. He was shot, and that was on purpose. So think about this. So I've known this for a little while when we had a shooting on 38th and Paulina. That was an old head over there. Old head means the old guys, right? It can be gang or not gang, right? Old head, right? Old people from the neighborhood, right? And not really older. But if you notice the pattern now, 60s. How many 60-year-old people have been shot in Chicago? How many? A lot. About 2 years ago, there was a lot of 30s and 40s shot, right? Sabo. His anniversary of his shooting, him and a migrant were murdered down in Inglewood. You remember that one? That just came up in my feed. I'll put it up tonight. Sabo. He was some big guy, but he killed people. The guy that was shot the other day and killed, he just got out of prison. I don't know if he died or not. I don't know if this is the guy on 63rd Street. It might be. I don't know. If I misspeak, I'm wrong. I apologize. A guy just got out of the joint, and he was hooked up for an attempted murder, and he was killed. Sabo, 2 years ago or last year, was found in a building, an Inglewood building, and I don't know if it was him or the guy who was with a plastic bag over his head and a bullet hole in him, in his back. That was in an abandoned Inglewood building down there. So there's two things happening over the years. There's guys that were in between the 30s and 50s that are being shot. Now it's the older heads getting shot. 55 and older. In the last few weeks, this guy that was at the United Center just shot. Tiffany Henyard's dad just shot. He's in his 60s, right? So what I'm thinking, these might be either turf wars to take over areas, and I'm not saying Tiffany Henyard's dad was involved in anything. I'm not saying that. But it's starting to be a pattern where certain types of people are being targeted and killed or shot or done to. Right? And my initial discussion with somebody when that happened down my Maybach Pauline, because there's an old white dude, an old Latin count. I forget his name now. I got all the posts about it. I interview people. People talk to me, right? I don't burn my sources. I don't say about, I say whatever I want to say, but I don't burn my sources. See, there's a difference in that, right? You know what you got to keep confidential, and you know what not to keep confidential. Let's see if I can get through it. There's police activity over on the other side. So, this source that was when that white guy got shot by me, and there was a shootout, and there was younger Hispanic guys, and this was an old white head, right? Let's listen to the news. I got to get my bearings straight here first. I got to set up my cameras when I go through the cop stuff, right? Let's listen to the news for a second, and I'll keep talking.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question? Beg your pardon? Whoa, you're talking way too low. It reminds me of the way too low prices on Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more at Hasselus Mattress. You're probably asking, how low? Check out the Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Queen Aspen Cove B Hybrid. Others sell it for $1,015, but Hassellus has it for just $846. Maybe you're inquiring about a free box spring with the purchase of any Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress for a limited time, or take an equal amount off an adjustable base. I assume you're asking whether Hassellus Mattress has employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, setup and removal of your old mattress, and free financing. Yes, we do.
Holy cow!
See? People are talking about Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
So,
President Trump late today extending his...
So, when this guy, I forget what... Let's see. We found out his name. I don't like talking about an event and I don't remember the name here. Homicide, 38th and Paulina, Chicago.
escalated his threats of more military action against Iran and has moved thousands of U.S. troops into the Middle East. At the close today, the Dow was down 1%, 469 points. The Nasdaq down 5 points.
It was in Bronzeville. McKinley Park. And there you go, 2 charged. This is the case here. It happened. It was one of my first Citizen app videos. That's back then, right? That's 4 years ago. I have a Citizen app. That's when I first started using Citizen. That might have been my first video. They got another video. That's the first video. It was a fire on the west side. So this has got an old guy. He's a white guy. Let's see if they have his name here. He's a Latin count. I'm pretty sure he was a white Latin count. You know, in the old days, gangs didn't care really about. Two men are charged. I want to get you the name, and then I'll tell you the story of what I think is happening, right? And actually, I talked to a few people about this. I talked to a bunch of people. And then I get off, and then I don't like talking to them because I don't want to be involved in that culture, right? I don't. It's not that I don't respect people and I don't give I don't want to be part of that lifestyle. That's all I got to say. So if you have connections, then you become part of it, which I don't want to be part of it, right?
Mr. Holmes? Hi, this is Amy from First American Bank. I got your message that you called, and I'm calling you right now. Oh, I'm not
They're not releasing his name here. So 2 guys were charged, but these were young guys, young Hispanic. Here, this is the story. These 2 guys, right? That was 2 guys. See that there? This is back in 2022, right? I covered that. I think I heard the shooting. I was out on my bicycle. I heard the shots, and I went there. Whatever. So, whatever his name was. And when I think of it, I'll tell you guys. But he was an older guy, and these younger guys wanted to do something else with the gangs in the area and wanted to do other activities. Just like the mob, whenever you see them. Remember all these old mob movies we're talking about, they never sell drugs, they were just into alcohol. Remember, the original mob guys were famous for bootlegging, right? For alcohol during Prohibition. That's when everybody made their money. And then when Prohibition was over, right, they had to come up with other stuff. That's when they started getting into drugs. And then the old guys saying we don't do drugs, right? You see, it's starting to get bad out here, right? To win. And that's the fight. And it's always that, because it's about turf, it's about ideology, it's basically money, right? Turf is money, drugs is money, alcohol is money. So in this case, in my neighborhood on 38th and Paulina, that murder, they were doing something, those 2 young guys I showed you the video, the picture, and the older white guy says, nah, we're not going to do that in the neighborhood, and then they killed him. It was actually a gunfight. I got the videos of it. They shot up his car. There was a gunfight down there on 38th and Paulina by the church over there, by the school. If you know that area right there. They were shooting at each other, and they killed him, right? Because he was out of his car. They passed by. They said some stuff, and they had a shootout. They killed him, right? So, but the point I'm trying to make is connected to today. So that's 4 years ago, right? And then he was in his 30s or 40s maybe. But the point I'm trying to make here is that there's a lot of older people that are getting murdered and killed. And you just heard Tiffany Henyard's dad, who was 67, just got shot. The 65-year-old was just murdered at the United Center, right? So why are these things happening? At the United Center shooting, they say for sure that was a hit. They say that was a hit. Sometimes they steal out of here, right? There's a cop car. I should put it on Citizen and see what's going on here, right?
Outbound side. I-55 in Will County slow between Route 53 and I-355 in both directions. The Dan Ryan just 17 minutes in. Outbound, still pretty heavy, 45 minutes from downtown to the split. I-57 is a 20-minute trip on your inbound side. Outbound, it's 18. The Bishop Ford inbound, 17-minute ride. Outbound, you get the long-term over 115 to 159th. It's 28 out. DeSable Lakeshore Drive, heavy from Jackson to Chicago, northbound.
Right, Presidential Towers. They always steal out of that parking garage. They've had stick-ups and robberies in that parking garage.
And then Ogden to the Eisenhower. Southbound, you're heavy from the Benson Bridge to Ogden. And then the
that one over there. See that? Presidential Towers. We're going to throw it on Citizen app. The Citizen app coordinates with the radio calls. They're better than I am. Because they do it by AI. AI controls it. AI is okay for some things. AI is not the best for everything. You got to watch for AI.
18 miles an hour, 49 degrees at 529.
Shop Jalosco for hot deals.
We're gonna throw this on Citizen app and see what's going on there. They might be robbing people or stealing cars in there. Or they might put a patrol here to protect people. This is the Social Security office over here, too.
Buy one, get one free sale.
And Social Security office is right there, that one.
So I own a coffee shop, and I wanted to label everything.
All right, we're going to throw it on Citizen app and see if there's anything going on here. See that? We're in downtown.
Right now, Staples Prints custom labels are 30% off.
30% off? That's shockingly affordable branding.
Yep. Now our logo and URL.
All right, and let's throw it on Citizen app and see if there's anything going on here.
That was easy.
5:30 we'll put on the news too, right? I'm throwing it on Citizen app and seeing if there's something going on here, right? I think this is what, Displays?
Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. We're going to check in with AccuWeather for the latest on severe weather making its way through the Chicago area.
This is Glenn Marshall. 2 men are in custody charged with gunning down a West Side contractor killed just steps from his office near the United Center.
This is Andy Dane, a familiar face at a Palatine Community College and decorated World War II veteran, has died.
Plus, President Trump extends his deadline for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. Sports not good for our Major League Baseball teams. Cubs follow the Nats at home, 10-4. Sox lose on to the Brewers on the road, 10-2. Blackhawks take on the Flyers tonight.
SubX.News on the spot reporting here at Presidential Towers. It's 5:30 p.m. We're at Jefferson and Madison. These are the Presidential Towers parking garage. There's police activity here. They do robberies out of this place. People have been robbed, carjacked, and stolen from in that parking garage. So I don't know if this is a regular detail or if something happened. Again, police activity here at Presidential Towers, parking garage. And we're going to listen to the nightly news, too.
At the moment, we had some earlier in northwest Indiana with some storms that were producing some hail, but things are quieting down in northwest Indiana right now. We have some showers around Chicago right now, and then as you get into the western suburbs, and especially Kane and DeKalb County, some stronger storms are around along I-88 between DeKalb and Aurora. Some pretty strong storms. Might be some hail, but I think the bigger problem at the moment will be some of the heavier rain you're encountering with that storm. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Will and Grundy counties as well as northwest Indiana until midnight. And as these storms move out, it's going to turn even colder later tonight, with lows near the freezing mark. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Brian, we'll talk to Brian again coming up at 5:38. 2 men in custody charged with gunning down a West Side contractor.
Chicago police say they had 28-year-old Nassie Mason and 31-year-old Irving Harris in handcuffs within minutes of the shooting, arrested on the same block where 67-year-old Jerry Lewis was killed. Lewis was shot in the head while walking outside a condo building in the 2100 block of West Madison just before 1 in the afternoon on Tuesday. Police say the 2 men approached him with guns and opened fire. Mason and Harris both face 1 count of first-degree murder and 1 count of being a felon in possession of a weapon. A detention hearing is set for Friday at 26th in California. According to NBC5, colleagues say Lewis was more than a contractor, a mentor who shaped lives across the community and the city. He leaves behind a wife and son. No motive has been released on this shooting. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Member of the civilian board that oversees the Chicago Police Department demanding that Mayor Johnson open an investigation into what she claims is an intimidation campaign aimed at getting her off the board. Abiyar Minor is on the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability. She says she was deliberately taken off a list of recommended appointees and that a retired officer on a local police district council came to her apartment building after hours to confirm she lived there.
This body is built so those closest to the problem can be a part of shaping policy and the solution. But what we're seeing right now is a failure to protect those very people once they step into leadership, and that is not right.
That retired officer has been censored. And in an interview tells WBBM News Radio he has apologized. The spokesperson for the commission, meantime, says the 6 candidates slated for appointment are highly qualified and described claims about the process as false and misleading. A decorated World War II veteran and familiar face at a Palatine Community College has died.
Family members say Bernie Bluestein's health had been failing in recent months. He died this week at a hospice facility in Wheeling. In 2024, Bluestein and his fellow Ghost Army veterans received the Congressional Gold Medal for their World War II efforts, which relied on various forms of trickery to make enemies think there were more of them than there really were. Bluestein and the Ghost Army carried out operations in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany. After the war, he worked as an industrial designer in the suburbs and enrolled in art and sculpture courses at Harper College, where a studio is named in his honor. Bernie Bluestein was 102 years old. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
5:34 around the world. President Trump extends a pause on striking Iranian energy infrastructure until April 6th. He says talks with Iran are, quote, going very well. However, he says if Iran doesn't agree to a deal soon, there will be no turning back. Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump says time is running out for Iran to agree to a deal, posting on social media that Iranian negotiators better get serious soon before it's too late.
They are begging to work out a deal. I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I don't know if we're willing to do that.
The president called Iranian negotiators strange, saying they are begging for a deal in private while publicly denying it.
At the same time, thousands more U.S. troops near the region, and Iran tightened its grip on the Strait of Hormuz. The Army is making it easier to enlist.
The maximum enlistment age is rising from 35 to 42, and the Army will now allow recruits with
Police
one prior
activity at
marijuana conviction to join.
powers.
Until now, recruits with low-level marijuana convictions had to wait 2 or 3 years to pass a drug test and get a waiver. The Army has spent billions of dollars on recruitment efforts since it missed its goal by 15,000 people in 2022. Last year, it signed up more than 62,000 people, 1,000 above its goal. Michael Wallace, CBS News. It's happening. Your hair is thinning and your crown's disappearing. Then Advanced Hair has the quick, simple...
There you go, man. If you used to smoke weed and you're in your 40s, you can be in the Army now. There you go. You 40-year-old guy. I'm too old. I'm in my close to my 60s. I went once to get recruited, and they said, yeah, we like you, my brother, but you got a little bit of stuff that you need to deal with. I remember that meeting well. That was funny. I was at a recruiter's office. That was at the first Iraq War. I tried to sign up. And they kind of said, yeah, they looked at my background. They said, yeah, we're sorry to tell you, brother, but we can't do it right now. So it looks like they're changing the recruitment stuff. So let's listen to the rest of the news.
My list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better. Call Select Quote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sponsored by PackyWeb4.com, where bonus cash is flying all month long. Get 3,000 to 3,500 bonus cash on a huge selection of new models. For details, visit PackyWeb4.com. Fox River Grove, the Citgo on Northwest Highway in Illinois, has gas for $3.99 a gallon. Palos Heights, the S&K on Ridgeland and College, has gas for $3.99 as well. Coming up.
This is Mike Krauser. A vote is nearing on a plan to honor Downers Grove native, the late wrestler Randy Macho Man Savage, with a statue.
Right, we're going to have that story coming up. But first,
let's get going. What are we going to listen to? The radio calls? We haven't been listening to radio calls for a while.
Remind everybody,
who wants to listen to that?
Take your time, be careful.
Let's put on some crime news, right? A lot of news happening out there, right? So let's finish that story with the old heads. So there was a fight, like I was saying about Prohibition. When Prohibition went from alcohol to drugs, because what? Because what? Alcohol became legal again. And then what happened in the 30s? Reefer Madness, the video, right? So everybody started doing reefer, the jazz era. There was already cocaine, heroin, and reefer on the scene. That's been around since the late 1800s and 90s. There's some cocaine and heroin use that track back to the 70s, 1870s, I believe. Not heavy. It's a medicinable thing. That those snake oil salesmen used to do it. And then it got a little bit more used around when the Prohibition was. And then after Prohibition, when alcohol was legal again, then they pushed these other things. So, fast forward to today, you just heard a 67-year-old was shot, 65-year-old shot. I just showed you an example. I think he was in his 40-year-old shot back in my neighborhood. And I talked to a few guys about this, and they said, yes, these younger guys want to do other things. And there's these power struggles, and it's all about money, right? They want to sell drugs. They want to do other things. They want to do other things. And these older guys, when you get older, you're more set in your ways. You say, I don't want to do that. So then there's this struggle. I am not saying anybody that's been murdered lately has had those kinds of issues. I'm just saying what my research and direct interviews with people that are in the lifestyle have told me, right? These are direct interviews. I'm not going to tell you who I talked to. I ain't going to tell you who they are and when I did it, because it's none of your business. That's how life goes. You either know stuff or you don't know stuff. And there's people on my broadcast that know things more than I do. It's like Dave said about the car, right? We talked about it, right? If you see white vapor coming out of the carburetor, that's water. If it's blue or that color, then it's oil. And out of that guy's carburetor, the Eldorado, it was oil and it smelled oil. So that means his head was broken. He was having oil go into his engine and it was trying to ignite and it couldn't ignite. He had a bad battery and he had oil in his engine. Now, he had two problems there because he kept trying to start it. So that's his problem. So why do I combine gang activity and murders with cars? Is it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. No, it isn't. A car is a car. Gangs are gangs. What are you talking about? One is human, one's an inanimate object. No, wrong. The solving of the problem is the same. Troubleshooting, right? You look, you figure it out. If it's gang related, why is it gang related? Is it drug related? Is it money related? Is girlfriend, boyfriend related? Is it turf related? Is it generational related? What is it related to? Is it factional? You know, the same gangs kill each other sometimes. Everybody knows that one too, right? So these are all things that we need to what? Understand. And we have yet, and since I've been doing the crime chasing at SubX, now it's going on 4 years. I've been doing crime and gangs before that. The city has yet to talk about gangs, criminal activity, drug activity, and gun activity inside the city. They blame the boogeyman. Oh, it's Trump, it's Indiana. They never talk about the GDs, the BDs, the Vice Lords, the Four Corner Hustlers, Simon City Royals, Latin Kings, the SDs, the Maniacs, the Insanes, the Unknowns, the Travelers, the Popes, the El Rukins. I know a little bit about a little bit. I know a little bit about a little bit. I know a little bit about a little bit. Have you heard anything like that talked about by the Brandon Johnson? No, because he uses the crime to gentrify. He uses crime to push people out or kill them. One of the two. Does he do it purposely or intentionally? I haven't got to that evidence yet. Sometimes they use gangs intentionally. The West, the West Town by Ukrainian village, they used gangs to burn out the Ukrainians over there. In Lakeview, they used gangs to burn out those people, and they burned out Puerto Ricans over there in Lakeview. Yeah, I know there's direct evidence of gang involvement in gentrification. That's a fact. That's not imagination. It's a fact. So, why isn't Brandon Johnson talking about gang violence? Why isn't Brandon Johnson talking about drug violence? There you go. The casino's going on. Man, they're going fast, ain't they? That's the casino there. That's New Bell. Man, that looks beautiful. I might want to go there. I don't mind going to casinos. I'm a bad gambler, by the way. My wife is the gambler. I don't know how to do any of this. I go into slot machines. I tried playing them card games and roulettes. I have no idea what the hell all that stuff is about. I can play poker. I know 21. That's it. But I don't know none of that other whatever they do in gambling. But look at that. Is that cool or what? Is that cool? That's gentrification. That's more than gentrification. That's property development. That's beyond gentrification. That's billions of dollars there. But they kicked all the people out. That's the abandoned chocolate factory there, Bloomer, right? And I showed you the drug dealing and drug usage. This is where they tried to say I was going to get shot over here when I was doing a documentary, right? I was going to do a documentary on the homelessness in the city underneath the viaducts in the winter. And had everybody ready to do it. And then I said that they were going to shoot me over here. The migrants said to have me shot. The migrants were the drug dealers over here in this one here. So that's the Bally's Casino. And then they kicked everybody out. And I showed you guys these signs over here, right? That say it's the city site for homelessness, right? So the idea that I'm getting to again is this. There's always a movement for money. Money is a driver, and even those Iranians, right? Even the Chinese, right? The communists, right? Wherever you go, Africa, Congo, all of that stuff. They can say it's about philosophy or religion or ideologies. That's bullshit. Don't get fault. Don't get confused by it. It's always about power, and power is money. Even if they're like those Kampucheans, the Red Army down there, where they say no one has money except us. In power, we have money. The rest of you guys don't have money, right? That's how it works, right? So the reason I went through this whole big talking about this, we have the last week or two, a lot of older people getting shot, right? Why hasn't the city talked to us about this? Why hasn't there been a commission on killings of black people in our city? Why isn't there a commission on why so many, I like the train, you can see that there. Why so many women have been murdered in Chicago? It's been up 15%. 15% increase in domestic murders of women in Chicago. I wonder if it's minorities mostly or not. I don't know. There was a lot. There's that white lady in Logan Square. She was chopped up by Genesis. Guy got out of prison and chopped her up, put her in a duffel bag, right? Then there was the lady who chopped up her landlord on North Sheridan Avenue. She got a $3 million lawsuit too, by the way. You know that those are all domestic issues, right? But why don't we have commissions? Why aren't we studying, and why aren't we discussing why are these things happening, right? Why was there just a double homicide down on, what was that, 79th Street? That was 2 nights ago. Do you know there was a double homicide down there? Actually, 3 guys were shot, 2 dead. There was a double homicide 2 days before that. Why haven't we heard? What is it? Is it gang related? Is it drug related? Is it GDs versus BDs? Is it the GDs breaking up? Is the YNs fighting the old heads? What is it? Is it weed versus cocaine? Is it meth versus trank? What is it? What is it, right? What is it? And this is what I'm going to talk about, and then I'll put on the radio calls. And why I mention it with the car, troubleshooting. We right away analyzed the problem. We gave him electric. He charged his car. He had electric, but it couldn't start. And then when we got out and started looking, he had blue smoke coming out of his carburetor, which meant he was having oil inside of his head. It means he had a busted head. No matter how much you're going to charge that car, you can't start it. Why? Because the oil, this is why. It isn't because of the oil. It's because of the spark plugs. This is what happens. See, if you understand troubleshooting, sometimes they call it backwards mapping, whatever, but this is simple troubleshooting. First, we gave them power to turn it over. Secondly, it wasn't turning over. It wasn't sparking. So we went out and looked, and there was smoke coming out of this carburetor. It wasn't white smoke, vapor. It was blue smoke, which was oil. And it smelled like oil. So that means oil was inside his engine. And this is why it doesn't start. Because the oil goes on the spark plugs, and the spark plugs can't spark, blowing up what? The gasoline. Because it's a combustible engine. Everybody should know these things. You should learn this in high school. You should actually learn it in grammar school. It's a combustible engine. I did a project when I was in grammar school about carburetors, what carburetors do and how they get. I did a whole project when I was in grammar school about a carburetor. I took a carburetor from my dad. He used to work on cars, and I took it to school and explained what a carburetor is. I had one built and I had one taken apart. Carburetor is just what puts the gas into the car. A carburetor doesn't make the car run. Carburetor doesn't make the car run. Neither does the sparks. The sparks don't make the car run. You know what makes the car run? Everybody knows? It's the shaft. It's the shaft with the pistons. The pistons go up and down when it blows up, and it turns that shaft, and it turns what? It takes the energy from the explosions, from the gasoline explosion in your car. The pistons go up and down. It turns a shaft. That shaft turns. It goes to a transmission that transmits the energy from the shaft to your drive axles. And there's all kinds of gears and differentials and all that to make that work. Because if it just on its own, it'd be too fast and it's uncontrollable. So that's why you need differentials. You need transfer cases. You need U-joints to connect things, right? Because you can't just have a straight piece of steel. It'd break, it'd snap. So the sparks don't run your car. The gasoline doesn't run your car. The oil doesn't run your car. The oil makes all of those pieces lubricated so they don't break because it's metal on metal. That's what oil does. So if oil's inside the place and it's coming out of your carburetor, and it's what? It's not in the right place. Oil shouldn't be where the thing explodes, right? There's a little bit of oil underneath your piston. That's why you have piston rings. Piston rings keep the oil from going up, what? Into where the explosion happens. So you might have a ring problem, right? It might not be the head. It might be the rings that are bad. So it's, see, once you start going down and you start troubleshooting all of these ideas, and if you understand the mechanisms of what makes what run and how it runs, then you can identify the problem. Why am I talking about a car engine now and how it's broken, right? Right, there you go, the crankshaft. The crankshaft is what makes the car go. It's not the sparks. The sparks make explosions. The sparks push up and down the pistons. The pistons don't make the car go. It's the crankshaft. The valve shafts don't know nothing about it. That's all regulating what goes into pushing that crankshaft. Your main part of your car that makes your car go forward is your crankshaft. Guess what? Even electric cars have crankshafts. They might not have one, they might have four. It's the same concept. The only difference between an electric car and a gas car is what makes that crankshaft turn. See, if you know these things, then you're fine. So in that guy's case, the Cadillac, he had oil inside of his engine. It could be the heads that are bad, or it could be his piston rings. You have piston rings inside of your engine that when the piston goes up and down, you need oil in there because it's metal on metal. But you can't have oil inside where the spark plugs are on top of the piston, where the gas mixture goes in. When it explodes, it pushes that piston down. The other piston goes up. That's what the crankshaft does, right? It's so engineered, so one goes up, one goes down. One goes up, one goes down. And as the up and down motion goes up and down, it gets transferred to the crankshaft, which makes it a circular motion. That's the concept. It's a physics conceptualization of moving something forward, right? It's taking an energy, which is gasoline in this case. Sometimes it's electric, sometimes it's our hydrogen, that makes something happen, and it transfers that power into what? Linear. Linear means it's rolling back and forth. That's what that means. That whole long explanation is how engines work. So if you understand that there's blue smoke coming out of his carburetor, that means there's oil inside of his engine somehow. And it can be two ways. The heads are leaking, which I've seen some oil up there. It might be. But more than likely, now that I'm thinking about it, an hour later, it could be his piston rings because there's oil underneath the pistons. Oil makes the pistons go up and down. You can't have metal on metal. It gets ruined. So what you have is oil on the bottom of these pistons, where the explosion happens and pushes these pistons up and down, that transfers to the crankshaft that turns your wheels. You have to have a piston ring in there to keep the oil from going up into where the spark plugs are, where the explosion happens. So he might have bad rings. Maybe. Bad rings or bad head. One of the two he has there. More than likely he might have bad rings, because that's an older car. That's how you do it. Am I on the right track there, Dave? That's rated in. I'll take that Cadillac, my brother. I'll take that Cadillac any day with a broken engine and everything. That body was beautiful, man. He probably had some Bondo on it. But that was beautiful. He had power windows in that baby. So here's the point. Why did I go into a long discussion about engines and crankshafts and blowing up and blue smoke, white smoke, blah, blah, blah? Because if we lie about crime, which we now know it's a fact that they've been lying about crime. We know it's a fact. Now it's the second commission by Eileen Broke that says now we're going to have a CTA commission on crime. She just made a commission a month ago on what? Domestic violence that went up 13%. I want to know what the stats are on the CTA crime. I think they said it's double digits went up. So they've been saying crime is down, but yet we have two new commissions by Eileen Burke, which the Cook County State's Attorney is saying crime is up in these 2 points, right? Domestic violence murders and now CTA, which was just announced yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago. So what does that mean? That means if you do troubleshooting like with the Cadillac, that means what? Crime doesn't go up all of a sudden in 1 day or 1 week. That's outrageous. That's silly. If anybody worked in the government, whether it's city, state, county, feds, there's no decision made in government. It's always 2 years back ahead, meaning to do something today, the decision was made at least 2 years ago. At least if you're doing the grant process, especially with government funding. Why? Because it goes on cycles of the budget, like we had the budget shutdown in the feds right now, right? That money allocated is actually money already allocated. So I don't know what happened to the money. That's something that you got to investigate. If they're not paying people today, that means they did something with the money that they collected in the past. Today's government workers paid by budget lines passed last year and not by budget lines passed this year. So whatever's happening in the government is bullshit, okay? They're lying to us. Because if you know about governments, you know about how they spend money. So why am I talking like this? Because if you understand troubleshooting, simple things, simple ideas, you can backwards figure out what the problem here is. The government shutdown today that money was allocated last year. It's allocated, and the taxes were collected last year. That means we ran out of money. And you're doing some scheme to pretend that the budget and the politics are related to it, which it isn't. Remember, budgeting in government is the year before it gets passed. Same thing with those Somalis in Minneapolis. That money, you know where that money came from? That money came from the COVID relief. You know who was the president back then? You know that Somali money in Minneapolis, you know who that came from? That was President Trump, his first term. You never read that yet? Backwards map the money. Backwards map, like the carburetor. Backwards map it. Same thing with these gang killings. Why did they kill a 65-year-old? Why did they shoot Tiffany Henyard's dad? Why? What's going on here? New money versus old money? Meth versus heroin? Weed versus trank? Turf? Because why? Turf because, here, I will show you right here. Turf is the west side. There. This is where that shooting, when the guy was just shot here, the murder just happened here, man. Weren't we up here for a shooting over here? The week before he got murdered, we were up here. There was a shooting here at this park. Don't you remember that? There was a shooting right here. And they said there's a guy down in a yellow vest. Don't you remember that? I was here for a shooting before that man was murdered. They were making laughs out here. The car got shot out here. I showed you the bullet holes, didn't I? Right here, this park. Look it up. United Center shooting. Look it up. SubX.News. We were here. They covered it up. There was people going back and forth to United Center. They had no tape here, no nothing. Nothing. Now, a guy is murdered here. So we had a shooting. A week later, a guy gets murdered. We're not talking about what happens. We're not talking about the carburetor anymore. Why? Because people don't want you to learn the carburetor. Because when you understand what a carburetor does, you understand what an engine does, you understand what a crankshaft does, you understand what a differential does, you understand what a transfer case does, you understand what a solenoid does, you understand what the coil does, you understand what a U-joint does. Then you understand how things work. Then you might say, yeah, why did a 65-year-old get killed by United Center? And why was there a shooting a week before? Why was there yeah, I was here, remember? I showed you the bullet hole in the car here. And that wasn't the car that got shot. It was another car that got shot. Right here, I'll show you the house. Maybe the car is there with the bullet hole. So the guy got shot somewhere around here, right? What was the address? $1 billion project over here. What's going on? Is it about money? Is it about old scores? Why did Tiffany Henyard's dad get shot? That was a targeted shooting. I'm going to say it right here. Tiffany Henyard's father getting shot was a targeted shooting. It was not accidental. He was targeted. You know why? Look at my video from, what was that, 1325 South Kids. You look at my video. I showed it on my videos, man. That's why they hate me so much. Why do you think the ruling class, the left and the right, you know the left and the right are both ruling class. The ruling class don't care left and right. Everybody knows that one too, right? Trump was a Democrat long time ago, long before he was a Republican. They don't care. The ruling class does not care left or right, period. They care about power. We're going to continue the conversation after the 6 o'clock news.
TSA airport lines moving again. Kristen Wild, CEO of the nonprofit Operation Food Search, says they are supporting TSA workers.
We've heard stories of people sleeping in their cars, of cars being repossessed, of having to donate plasma at blood banks just to make it through. So Operation Food Search saw the need and decided that we would help relieve one area of their lives, and that is in the area of food.
President Trump's signature will soon appear on paper currency. CBS's Linda Kenyon at the White House.
In honor of the nation's 250th anniversary, President Trump's signature will appear on dollar bills along with the signature of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Treasurer Brandon Beach calls printing Trump's signature on American currency, quote, not only appropriate, but also well-deserved.
On social media, President Trump says he's extending until April 6th strikes on energy plants in Iran. But he also says if Iran does not agree to a deal soon, there will be, quote, no turning back and it won't be pretty. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
During his cabinet meeting, President Trump also revealed the gift he says he received from the Iranian delegation the administration is negotiating with, 10 oil tankers allowed to sail through the Strait of Hormuz.
They were real, and I think they were Pakistani flagged. And I said, well, I guess we'll deal with the right people.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident shipping traffic will continue to increase.
A man and his sister have been charged in connection with an explosive device that was found outside of the gate at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. CBS's Christian Benavides.
Zhang's sister is facing charges related to helping her brother escape to China and sell a car that was allegedly used in the incident. Alan Zhang, according to authorities, called 911 shortly after planting the explosive device. Still, it took 6 days before it was found. Now, officials say that the device was real and it could have killed multiple people, but it did not detonate.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill to rename Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day following sexual abuse allegations against the labor icon. The state has honored Chavez with a state holiday on his birthday, March 31st, for years. The swift change comes after allegations that he abused girls and women, including fellow labor icon Dolores Huerta. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling.
So they switched to history, right? Once you fall out of grace.
For 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's messed up, ain't it, Nick?
What hidden fees and repairs might cost you. Hi, I'm Tom Dellins with Granby Homes, and we're here to put your mind at ease.
I'm looking for a post about Tiffany
We
Henyard.
understand what you're going through, and we're here to take the stress and surprises out of the selling process. When you work with us...
Anybody got the address where this guy was shot? Let's go see where he was shot.
No waiting months to close. Grandview will buy your home as is. You don't need to fix a thing. We'll even take care of any items you leave behind and do all this on your schedule. Our process is simple. You'll get our upfront, honest offer in hours. And the amount we offer is the amount you get, period. And you won't have to wait long to get your money.
This was Tiffany Henyard's
You
dad.
can close in as little as 10 minutes. Whether you have a family home, condo, or rental property in Chicagoland, we're here to help you sell confidently and on your timeline. Grandview Homes.
From the crime scene, it was a targeted hit.
Get your no-obligation offer at grandviewhomes.com today.
One of the nation's top universities is diving headfirst into figuring out how to help not just students, but everyone step back from their phones a little more each day. CBS's Jared Hill spoke to organizer Grant Callahan at New York University.
More Americans are trying to intentionally step away from their devices, and a recent survey suggests Gen Z...
Henyard's dad shooting looks like it was a targeted from the scene.
...carving out screen-free time in their day.
But with toys and Play-Doh sprinkled across this collegiate space, some critics have dubbed it daycare for adult students. A moniker Callahan is embracing.
I'd rather be the person that tries to solve the problem and, there's some silly things that go on, rather than acknowledging that there is a problem and not doing anything about it.
Unplugging to power up new connections. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Washington's cherry blossoms have reached peak bloom, with 70% of the Yoshino cherry blossoms open. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Ready to go, guys? Where did anybody got this address here?
1059.
I'm looking for the shooting scene so I can kind of get a visual, right?
The time now is 6:05 on Thursday, March 26, 2026. Good afternoon, well, good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting around 48 degrees here in Chicago. And of course, it's cold. We got severe thunderstorm watch for Will and Grundy counties, as well as northwest Indiana, and that's happening until midnight. Right now, we're going to see some rain and a couple of heavy thunderstorms around. Now, these storms can produce hail and damaging winds, especially near and south of I-80. Later tonight, it's going to get blustery and dramatically colder. It's going to get down to a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll see breezy and quite chilly temps, a high of 43 with a low of 28. Here is our top story on News Radio WBBM. An emotional visitation for a Chicago firefighter continues today on the city's southwest side. WBBM's Andy Dane reports.
Chicagoans have turned out in large number to pay their respects to Michael Altman. The 32-year-old fourth-generation firefighter died last week from injuries he suffered while working a fire in Rogers Park.
It's a beyond tragic event that it's just a respect that you pay your respect.
If you see a fireman on the street, tell him thank you.
There are several Chicago fire officials, even therapy dogs on hand here at St. Rita High School, which was scheduled to host Altman's funeral on Friday. However, it's been postponed after Altman's wife went into labor earlier in the day. One woman tells us that makes the situation...
I know that one. I'm looking for the shooting. Can somebody Google the shooting address of this one on Madison?
The Cubs dropped today's home opener against...
Madison, the guy they just arrested, the two guys today. I want to see the visual where it's at.
Carolina Garibay stopped by this morning.
Google
ready for fans to
Madison Avenue homicide, right?
Friendly confines, workers were also
He's said he was coming out of his office somewhere here.
Opening day 2026. While the ballpark will host roughly 80.
I want to see where it was, right? And I can maybe get a visual of, because they just, remember we were here when the carjackers were here. Remember the carjackers right here?
Great lineup.
There was a carjacking right here. Remember that? I think it was right here. They said it was by it was shot by remember the carjackers were here last week?
Savannah Bananas are going to play a weekend here.
Wrigley Field will also host Chicago native John Mulaney for the stadium's first ever comedy show. Faulkner says he hopes these events eventually bring fans back to Wrigley Field for a Cubs game.
And a lot of fans fall in love with the Cubs because they came to Wrigley Field and they fell in love with this magical place.
Ultimately, he says the goal is to foster togetherness.
Homicide near United Center.
There's so many things trying to divide people, but the thing that we believe here is we're bringing people together.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And the time now is 6:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8s is sponsored by Redo Cabinets. And here to tell us about some crash and road work delays.
I'm looking for the shooting scene here, right?
Oh, right now, Glenn, if you're on the inbound side of I-80, watch out. Eastbound
2100 block of West Madison. That's right here.
Couple of things going on some of the area roadways.
It's 21 because Western is 24, right?
The westbound side.
It's got to be somewhere here. 2100. Madison and that was where that's where the carjackers were. You remember that the other day? I'm telling you, something's going on. So we had the shooting. When the carjacker was before or after the shooting? I don't remember. I have to look at my reports. Remember, there was carjackers just busted right here. Remember that? Look it up on my report. So we had a shooting here at the park, right? I was on Wolcott back over there, Wolcott in Washington, right? And now you're saying that the murder happened on Levitt and Madison, where Levitt and Madison, there was just a carjacking, 3 older dudes in a stolen car. Old heads, right? And who just killed that guy? Older dudes. Those are older guys that just killed this guy. This is an assassination. This guy right here, right? The United States. This is why I'm talking about the carburetor. We don't know what's going on because the city and the people don't tell us what's going on. So we're left to guess, right? 2100 West Madison. So we're right here, right? Yeah, the carjacking, here, if you look it up, don't you remember? Man, it's coming down, ain't it? If you remember, the carjackers were busted right here. Remember that the other day? And they crashed into a car. Those are older guys here, too. Remember the carjacking that was here? The shooting is back there, and then this guy was murdered over here, right? Let's go over here. So you say 2100. This is Levitt. We're at Levitt, right? So his office must have been in one of these buildings here, right? Remember Michael Scott got killed, right? Remember? Oh, he got, they say he committed suicide. Same thing, West Side stuff, right? But he was over by Collins High School over in that area. Right here, right? So he must have been his offices over here. So we just had those carjackers right there. And this is it right here. That's his office right here. He was murdered right here. That's the office, isn't it? Right here. And Wayne's coming. That's his office right here. This is it. All right, that's it. Isn't that his company right there? That's his company, right? He was here. He was murdered right here. This is it. We're at Holly over here by the police academy over here by Whitney Young. All right, let's go over there. Or is it the one on the west side? Let's go over here, man. Is it this over here? The police academy is over here. Let that rain, everybody. I'm trying to post 2 things on X and it's not let. I'll tell you. Twitter really sucks sometimes. I tell you, it's really bad. So the police academy is over here, isn't it? Is this the one? It's coming down good. Yeah, that one. We'll go over. It's right over here, right, Holly? Hey, what's up, Holly? Holly. She's a tipster here. She gave me a few tips already. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, look at that rain there. You know, I switched cars today. I'm in my monster truck today. We're gonna do flood watch. Yeah, I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm taking the minivan. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna act goofy today. I've been up since. Actually, I went to sleep at 6 a.m. I got a half hour of sleep, and I had to drive out to Northbrook today. I think that's where I ended up, somewhere up there. I was in Northbrook, so I'm on a half hour of sleep today, because I might start talking silly. I might start doing silly stuff, man. Oh man, they got the bomb things there, man. So we're gonna go over to the police academy. But, so I've been up. That's all I gotta say. I've been up, and then I took a nap. I think I took a little nap in the afternoon for about 2-3 hours. So I'm working. I've been up since yesterday. I think at about, what time did I get up yesterday? Yesterday I got up early. I got up at 8 yesterday. I've been up since 8 o'clock yesterday morning. I think I've had 4 hours of sleep until now. That's good. I used to work at night in the Wrigley Junior factory. I used to say, I'll get sleep over the weekend. I used to stay up 3-4 days straight without sleep. I used to go to work, and then I used to go to school. I used to sleep at school in the old Loop College downstairs in the rec room down there. That's where the rec room was at one time. I don't know what it is anymore. So we're going to the police academy. They say there's a bomb threat over here. We'll go over there. Yeah, they got blown out. That was 10 something, right? That was a. What did the Sox do today? Anybody got the ear on the Sox? I know the Cubs lost. I heard that was a bad one. Oh, there's the Coco. Should we chase the robot there? Let me try something else here. So we're going to the police academy now, right?
Northwest Indiana. Blustery and dramatically colder late tonight. As the storms move out, the sky will clear, low 31. Breezy and quite chilly tomorrow. Some sunshine returns, high 43. We're into the 20s tomorrow night. But it does warm up over the weekend. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, a bit of a breeze, high 51. Then warmer Sunday and Monday. A mix of clouds and sun, high 64 Sunday, 72 on Monday. 47 right now at O'Hare. It's 48 at Midway, 47 in Downers Grove, 45 at the Lakefront, going down to 31 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Thanks a lot, Brian. And at 6:16, it's time for sports, sponsored by WatchUsGrow.com. And here is Chris Emma.
Glenn, good evening. Opening day went to the Nationals. They took it to the Cubs in a 10-4 final from the north side. Matt Boyd struggled.
That's horrible.
6 earned runs, a 6-run fourth due to the Cubs. But their top performer was Michael Busch. He came out swinging with 3 hits on the day and reached base 4 times. Busch was thrilled to be back at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, it was obviously really fun to be back in front of the crowd. The best fans in baseball, best fans in the world. So I think everybody was excited to get back here, and to play in front of Chicago.
News came after the game. The Cubs are locking in Nico Horner. He's agreed to a 6-year contract extension to stay on the north side. Terms of the deal are not yet clear. North of the state line, the White Sox were blasted by the Brewers, a 14-2 final. Shane Smith did not make it out of the second inning. Jacob Mizorowski mowed down the White Sox lineup with 11 strikeouts. On the plus side, Munetaka Murakami connected on his first career home run. That came in the 9th inning, and no doubt about it shot. Elsewhere in baseball, Paul Skeens did not make it out of the first inning. He was tagged for 5 earned runs, this in part due to a defensive miscue in center field by O'Neal Cruz. The Sweet 16 starts up tonight with 6 Big Ten programs representing. That includes Illinois, set for a 9-10 tip-off in Houston. They will face, of course, the home Houston Cougars. The city of Chicago will host the Midwest Regional starting tomorrow. That features Iowa State facing Tennessee, then Michigan battling Alabama. With sports at 16:46, I'm Chris Emma, 104.3 The Score for News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Chris Simmons. The time now is 6:18. That means traffic and weather together on the 8s is sponsored by Shipper Guide TMS. And here to tell us about the craziness on I-80, Savvy Ryan.
Well, right now, if you're on 80, watch out for heavy delays both directions. Actually, westbound solid Larkin to I-55 crash in a lane. The eastbound side jammed from Hobart to Center. Emergency road work in the right lane, and that's supposed to be there till 7. Use US 6 or US 52 instead. Heavy Kedzie to the tri-state.
Yeah, pass it up, man. I think I'm driving in circles now. I think it's over here, right?
Eastbound, heavy from Torrance on over to Burr. Indiana Toll Road westbound, slow spots. And that
it's right here, right? Oh, there they are. There's a cop right there. Bomb scare, right?
Same thing. Line Avenue over to I-65 in Gary. So far,
something's going on. They got, they're sitting in all those. Yeah, it's a bomb scare. They're all out of the. They're all out. There you go. It's a bomb scare. There you go. Thanks. Thanks, young lady. There you go. A bomb scare right there.
88, heavy approaching the northbound tri-state ramp. Westbound slow passing Route 59. Jane Addams Tollway eastbound I-90, heavy approaching the ramp to westbound I-190. Long-term road work on the exit ramp. Westbound I-90 slows 53 over to Roselle. Tri-state north, heavy Bishop Ward to Halstead. Cermak to the Eisenhower. Southbound, tight past Bentonville Bridge to Ogden. Mile long.
Bomb scare here at the Academy.
Halstead. Eden's inbound 34, outbound 20. Kennedy outbound 46 to the airport, hour back in. The outbound Eisenhower an hour and 3 out to I-90, hour and from it. Stevenson 58 to 355, 50 back in. And the Ryan outbound 35, inbound 18. Traffic is sponsored by Shipper Guide TMS.
There you go. I think they're all sitting in those vans.
Shipper Guide
See that there?
Automate your entire transportation process. From carrier selection to
delivery. There's a bomb scare. There you go.
Even one powerful platform that saves time and cuts costs. See how at Shipper Guide.
Bomb scare.
Shipper Guide TMS, the platform great teams rely on. Next report, 628 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Abby. And we are still dealing with those thunderstorms that's coming through. It's going to be severe thunderstorm watch for Will and Grundy counties as well as northwest Indiana until midnight. So that rain and a couple of heavy thunderstorms are coming around. It's going to be pretty tough, especially near and south of I-80 later tonight. Blistery and dramatically colder, a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow will be breezy and quite chilly with a high of 43 and a low of 28 degrees. It's currently 47 at O'Hare, 48 at Midway, and 42 along the lakefront. It's 6:20. Our top story this hour, visitation services are held on the southwest side for fallen Chicago firefighter Michael Altman. We'll have much more on this story coming up at 6:31. But first, Advocate Health says they're launching a new drone delivery service next year using the company Zipline to drop off prescriptions, labs, and medical supplies to your home or other locations. Now, the drones will pick up what you need from Advocate Health and fly to the destination, hover about 300 feet in the air, while a pod on a tether with a order inside descends down to the ground, hitting its target no matter the weather conditions. Now, Zipline aircraft is...
I'll take a picture and then I'll put it on Citizen app, right?
Charlotte, North Carolina, then head to Chicago and Milwaukee.
Thank you for the tip, young lady. See, we're all SubX.News.
1,000 drop-offs. And coming up after the break, we take a look at that Bloomberg Business Minute. The time now is 6:30. 21.
I'm gonna check if they're sitting in those
You're not
vans.
just buying a diamond, you're making one of the most important purchases of your life.
When it comes to customers, we don't think it's a transaction. You're building a relationship.
For nearly 75 years,
Bomb threat reported here at the police academy.
Confidence, expertise, and a people
on the west
When
side.
you come into our stores, we'll sit down and talk about exactly what you're looking for. We'll start by exploring different diamonds, looking at different diamond
I'm gonna
shapes,
put on the radio. Maybe we'll hear it. How long ago did that bomb threat come in? And maybe we'll go backtrack the radio calls, right?
Rasny family, carefully selected for beauty, quality, and value. From modern solitaires to vintage-inspired designs, Rasny's signature bridal line, Forever by Rasny, is curated for today's couples. And if you're ready now, Rasny has engagement rings set so you can propose the same day. Rasny Jewelers, family-owned and operated by the same family for 75 years. Trusted for one of life's most important decisions. Shop suburban Addison, Highland Park, Hinsdale, and Chicago's Oak Street. And always at Rasny.com.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here. Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring. Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best
There you go.
products right now. JTV, way ahead
They
of you.
think you're going to, you're a suspect.
For the cutest clover earrings.
Yeah. Did you watch my video the other day at the Kedzie shooting? Yeah, I was kind of a suspect. that detective was a dick, man. Oh, yeah, we're going to give you a hard time because you gave us a hard time. I said, what? I told you to stop. Everybody's seen that one. That says, say, one of my tools of my trade dropped out of my pants. And I got messed with. All right, let's put this on Citizen, and then maybe I'll. Oh, wow! I got another radio here. Why am I? Here I am talking. I'm a silly guy. We could be listening to this. Red 514.
7386 Adam. 86 Adam. Step by 1 second. All right, 85 Adam. The 90 cent red line. First one's gonna be 09609. Quality life mission is 09611. 86 Adam. Negative number Roosevelt red line.
I'm going to put this on Citizen app because they'll give us more information on Citizen app, right?
09615. Another unit coming in? 3326. 3326. We're over at the Academy area. I just want to make sure someone's over here that no cars are rolling past Jackson and Troop.
Jackson and Troop, right here.
So you don't want anyone to roll past Adams and Troop, or you said Jackson and Troop? Definitely not Jackson and Troop, and preferably not Adams and Troop.
SubX.News, we're here for a bomb threat at the Chicago Police Academy, and we heard the radio dispatch saying they don't want no one passing through here anymore. You just heard it. This is an ongoing activity. We don't know what's going on. We see all the cars that are pulled out there. We have a car here on Jackson and Troop. You just heard it, right? What the guy asked for. He says that he doesn't want any cars passing by it.
Okay, so
Listen up.
Adams runs westbound, so let's stop him at Racine, or do you want us to stop? Yeah, Racine probably be good, right? So we're gonna make him stop at Racine, going westbound on Adams, and then we'll have him stop at Laflin. That sounds good. Going eastbound on Jackson. That sounds good. That's good. I mean, there's no cars over here now. There was a car at Jackson and Troop. They're gone, but there's no traffic. It looks like they're over at Adams and Troop blocking it off. So I think we're good right now. Thanks, Squad. Okay, because I do see a car at Troop and Adams. And I do see a car at Jackson and Troop, but that's past. So, but there's a ton of cars at, what other street? What's this other street called? Loomis and Jackson.
We're at Troop.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll let you know when we need some minutes. There's no cars over here right now. I guess we're good with that. We'll let you know what's going on.
Active scene, active scene. Nick. Oh, there's a robot coming. Hey, it's the robot.
On the 95th and Red Line. 5th District site? And also, can I get a...
Is it the robot doing the bomb activity? Look at that, guys. There's a robot here, man. It might be a cyberborg. Might be the Terminator. Look at it. Look. Found a pig taped up to with the phone attached to it. There's a cyborg. It must have been the cyborg there. It's a cyborg attack. There you go.
85 boy.
It's the cyber attack.
641 is the first one. So 41 and 44.
So we're getting a report that there was a pig taped up with a phone attached to it. And now the cyborg is coming. Look at that robot over here, man. What's that robot doing here, man? How do you know that robot's legit? Anybody screen that robot? That might be a terrorist robot. That might be a drone. Oh, man, is he going to go through the water? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is he going to go through the water, everybody? Look at that cyborg, man. That's some cyborg stuff there, man. SubX.News, bomb threat over here at the... Oh, man, he went through the water. Cyborg, man. There you go, man. That's a cyborg right there, man. That's cyborg stuff right there, man. Did you see him go through that water? That was wild, man. So we're at a bomb threat here, and you just seen the cyborg going through the water. Yeah, there you go, man. How do you know how do you know like the Iranians ain't controlling him, or the little rocket man, Kim Jong-un? They can control those through the computer things, man. How do you know that? Yeah, you don't know, do you? See, when you watch SubX.News, you learn things. Like right now, it's raining and it's thunder and lightning, and I'm sitting here thinking about things. I have a little tin foil in my hat. When I have tin foil in my hat, I can think a lot better. It's clearer. What's up, Marietta? What's up, Nick, my brother? And Nick, I should tell you all about Nick. He goes back old school, man. He's been watching me for a few years. I think a year or two now. He sent me into a drug alley. Oh, go look at that. Where, California and somewhere around there? Oh, man. Oh. I'll go over there. I'm like, I knew that was a bad area and I didn't want to go there. So one day Nick used peer pressure on me. He goes, oh, you're not a man. You're a wimp. You're a nobody. So guess what? Me is trying to be the man. I said, I'll show you, dude. And I'm driving out. I was like, oh, yeah, this looks a little dangerous over here. You know I'm making up that story, right? I have to do a little bit of embellishment, right? If I just talk normal and monotone and give you guys the straight story, it might not even be that fun. So there you go. Suspicious package spotted outside the police academy. What we got here is there was a pig with a phone taped up here. So it was a pig with a phone. That's what Holly just said. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, Nick, man, Nick is my bad Gizmo. Remember Gizmo? I think that was the Flintstones. You know what I'm talking about? The Gizmo. Was Gizmo on the Flintstones or was he on Jetsons? Where was Gizmo on? Was he on the Flintstones or Jetsons? I don't remember. He was the Gizmo. You know which one I'm talking about here? The Gizmo that said, go do it. Go do it. And Fred Flintstone or Jefferson, he said, nah, I don't want to do that. I think... can we go back and watch our whole lives? That would be cool. I don't know. I want to fast forward through some of them. You know what I like? Like the new kids now, they can watch their shows without commercials and however way they want.
24th City, I got call shots fired. 6222 on Mozart, 6222 North Mozart. Caller City heard 3 shots coming from the east. Nothing further. Zone 11 radio clear.
6222 North Mozart, shots fired. And they got something going on here, man. They just had the cops block that off there. You want me to go around the block here and show you guys what's going on? Again, there's an active... First, it was called in as the Flintstones. The Flintstones was Gizmo, right? Then there was another cartoon with another one, the bad guy. So Nick is like my Gizmo. He's always like, oh, man, yeah, check that out. She's a cute girl over there. And I'm like, Nick, man. Nick, I'm married. I can't look at cute girl. Nick goes, no, but Nick will go, oh, but she's cute over there. Look at her. John, look, she's cute. She's twerking. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cute twerking.
Away from
Listen up.
Jackson and Troop. The best place for them to stand is probably closer to the Troop Street buildings, training buildings, and we'll let you know when we're going to get going, but it's going to be about 5 minutes. All right?
Okay, so you want everyone to stand near which building?
Troop Street buildings, over where we do the training at. Those guys know what I'm talking about. All the coppers know.
What about the fire department? Do I need to tell them or just like?
Well, we got a fire with us, so we're going to inform them right now. They're all with us, so we're good.
Okay, I'm going to send a message to all three, let them know.
That's live. You're listening to this live. That's on my ham radio there. That's happening right now. So yeah, Nick always goes, oh, she's cute. She's twerking. I'm like, Nick, I'm married. I can't be looking at cute twerking girls. He goes, don't worry about it, man. She's cute and she's twerking. And guess what? Then I come home, and my wife's like, why were you looking at twerking girls cute again? I'm like, Nick told me to do it. And guess what happens to me? Yeah, I get punished then. That was a totally embellished story, by the way. A little bit, not all of it, some of it.
Yeah, let me get an event number for quality of life meeting on 69th Street, red line with beat 7384 Adam.
Yeah, I love those cartoons. They were good cartoons.
097.
They say some of that was racism and all this. Man, I'm like, man, whatever, dude. Just chill out. If you don't like something, don't watch it. Like I say about SubX.News, if you don't like what I say, if I'm cranky, if I'm weird, if I'm swearing, if I'm going off on some things I don't like, then turn off the channel. Right?
7383 Adam. Adam. I'm getting an event number for a lunch at 99 the Western. Yeah, 10-4.
Oh man, is that the bomber there? What's going on here, man? Is that a source? What's going on, everybody? There's a bomb threat over here.
7389 boy. For Sheridan.
Suspicious package.
09720. One more time, squad. 09720. 7386 Charles. 86 Charlie. Barker Lake, Blue Rock. 86 Charlie, 09725. Thank you, squad. You're welcome.
SubX.News. This was a bomb threat. Now it's a suspicious package over here. I don't know what this lady's doing. She's doing something. I don't know what she's doing. Ain't getting in there. There's an active threat. And then I have one of our viewers, I think Holly, right? She says they found a pig with a phone. They found a pig taped up to a wall with a phone. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why are you running around with shorts in this weather? You're kind of not too smart, are you? Yeah, people don't do basic stuff anymore. They don't wear the right clothes. Did you guys see the hit and run I showed you guys the other day? 2 people were hit by a car. Look at the video. They didn't look. The car was coming. They didn't look the other way. And you remember I've said that on my videos before. People don't stop and they don't look. They just go into the street. Look at the video. I posted it yesterday or 2 days ago. Look at the video. They don't look.
This is a 1-minute warning right now. We're going to be going live with this, so just advise all these guys to stay. If they're on Troop, I want them north of the building. Like I'm looking at the copper right there in the alley. He's good right there. I want everyone north of the academy.
North. So they're all going to come here.
26 is giving a 1-minute warning, so make sure everyone is north of the building on Troop.
They're going to be right here. You're going to see everybody. We're in the right spot, everybody. Let's go take a look.
We're going on this right now.
Listen up. Listen up.
All right, 10-4. If you need a time check, 1837.
Holly! They just blew it up. There was just an explosion out here. Did you just hear that? An explosion just happened. What the heck was that? It was just an explosion. They blew something up over there. They just blew something up. Did you just hear it? What did he say on the radio? I should have listened to the radio. They blew something up.
We're doing a 30-minute wait time. I know you don't know what it is, but clock us down for that and notify me in 30 minutes when it's up.
They just blew something up. They just blew something.
Set timer for 30 minutes.
They blew up something here. They just blew something up. We just heard the noise. Everybody heard that, right? They blew something up over here. SubX.News live. We're at the police academy here on the near west side. We're on Troop and wherever we're at on Adams. They just cleared the building. They gave a 1-minute warning. They just blew something up. We just heard the explosion over here. So they might have put the package inside of the blow-up thing, right? They have a control blowing up. SubX.News. There we go. We just heard the explosion on it. Should we go around the block and see what's going on? I don't want to lose this space.
09758.
Yeah, that was an explosion. That was a controlled explosion. SubX.News live. I hope we don't run out of time here, man. This is I got to plug in my phone so I don't run out of electric, right? That's crazy. I should have shut my mouth. I kept talking. What I should do is try to get on the radio. There was a controlled explosion, it sounded like. There was a bomb threat, suspicious package. It's coming up on Citizen App. One of our viewers, Holly, said that it was a pig with a pig taped up to a wall, correct? With a phone attached. Now, these phones can be explosives. We've seen that happen in Israel. Remember, they killed all those Hamas guys or Hezbollah guys with those phones, exploding phones. So that is a possible device nowadays. I don't know. Are we dealing with that? Are we dealing with Iran attacking our police station? That'd be pretty wild. But we're here. Oh, man, they got all kinds of stuff going on there. Should I go around the block and see what I see? Let's go around the block. Hopefully I don't lose this parking space, right? We're going to see if there's anything else going around. If I see the bomb squad. That's what I'm going to look for, the bomb squad right now. Again, we're at the police academy here on the near west side. We're over on Troop and Adams, I'm pretty sure, right? Let's just wait. There's guys right in back of me. It's weird. All right, let's go around and see what's going on. Again, we're at the police academy here. We thought we heard a controlled explosion. I thought I did. All right. They're all the way down 2 blocks away over there, right? See, somebody just took my parking space. Was that my imagination or was that a controlled explosion? Did they blow up the package? No, you don't? SubX.News, by the way. Thanks, my brother. Somebody just took my parking space. I'm going to see if they got the bomb truck out here, because I have the bomb truck out here, right? Again, suspicious package. Yeah, somebody took my parking spot as soon as I pulled out, man. We're at the police academy. They have all these cars out here. I never seen this many of the police cars out here. I'm looking for the bomb truck, and you know this is there's the fire department right there. It's right over there. Right there. Ambulance 53. Take a look at this. Try to get you guys a few. There you go, right there. This is live. This is something happening here. This ain't fake. Oh, package. So it wasn't a pig with a phone. It was a package with a phone. Sorry about it, everybody. So it was a package with a phone, not a pig. There you go. SubX.News on the spot reporting here. We're now at Loomis and Adams. This is the police academy. They had a suspicious package here. And just about 5 minutes ago, we heard it sounded like a controlled explosion. And there's, you got ambulance 53 over there. You got a bunch of fire trucks over there, but we're pretty sure we heard a controlled explosion. That's Whitney Young High School, by the way. I think they're on spring break. We're going to go around the block and see if we can see something, right? Yeah, in Living Color. That was a great show. I loved that show. Fire Marshal Bob and Homie the Clown. Those were great skits. All right, let's go around the block and see if we see something. Again, suspicious package here at the Chicago Police Academy on West Adams. And we just heard what it sounded like, a controlled explosion. So they blew up something. They have, I think, some container. The bomb squad has a container where they put a package in it. And that's what we just heard. What did we hear? About almost 5-6 minutes ago. Look at this guy going down the wrong way there, man. Look at that guy. Maniac, man. Maniac in a Mercedes. Maniac Mercedes driver. He doesn't know where he's going, man. See that guy? Right there. He's going down the wrong way. Maniac. Got that expensive car, don't know how to drive. You don't know how to drive it, right? Now they're waiting for a 30-minute all clear, what we heard, right? They're on spring break, so that's what that is here, right?
Thank you. 3354. 4 boy. 84 boy. I know it's flag. Can I get 35 numbers, please, for 63rd Street, the red line, one for the turnstile, one for the platform?
So this is all blocked off here. You see that there? Everybody.
3354. Hi, David. 7364. 3354.
Again, we heard what we thought is a controlled explosion here.
Addison Red is 09831, 09831.
There's a whole bunch of police activity down the street there. That's on Jackson.
Number plate for 69 and the red line.
09834. 5 David. 85 David. Checker 79 red line. 09838, 09838. 73.
SubX.News on the spot reporting. Scene of some kind of a bomb activity or suspicious package over here.
Charlie. 81. RP on the red.
09844.
This is Whitney Young High School, by the way, but I think they're on spring break. Close your eyes. If you're watching, close your eyes, all right?
098 Session.
Heavy police activity and fire activity here by the police academy. Again, this is Whitney Young Magnet High School right there. There you go, right? Suspicious package. And they say give us they say ask for 30 minutes to give the all clear. Yeah, you don't know these bombs. Those Israelis invented those phone bombs, right?
09865.
Again, we're here at the police academy. We're right now on the Whitney Young Magnet campus here. I should go around it, and maybe I can get in the back there and see something else. But it looks like they're over here. I don't know what those cross streets are over there. That's Jackson for sure, going east and west. That might be Troop over there. That might be Troop.
I'm sorry, from the Addison Red. What is he complaining of? Intoxicated squad.
SubX.News on the spot reporting. 6:48 p.m. March 26, 2026. Suspicious package here at the Chicago Police Academy on the near west side. We did hear what sounded like a controlled explosion about 10-15 minutes ago. Boom. So maybe they took the package and put it in. I think the bomb squad has a container where they can put it in. That's what we heard. I'm pretty sure we heard. I was talking. I shouldn't have been talking, and maybe we could have heard what happened on the radio. But on the radio, it said 1 minute to it happening, right? And now it seems like it happened, right? Now they're waiting for the clear. You got cars going in and out of there, so I want to know why they're letting cars in and out of there. That's strange. You see that car there? It's going in and out. They're Prius. SubX.News.
What up?
You're live. You're listening to live radio feed. That's a direct. You're listening to ham radio there, right? That's what you're listening to. Those of you what you hear. This is direct feed. This is a direct feed. It's their frequency, right? And I'm a ham operator. I have a ham license, by the way. So. It's not a scanner. I'm not listening to a scanner. Maybe I should go around and I can't get too much closer, I don't think. Because Jackson goes east, so we won't be able to get there. Right? I want to see if they have a bomb truck out there. That's what I want to see, right? We're going to go around the block. We're going to go around the block and see what's going on. Again, suspicious package here at the Chicago Police Academy.
09897.
We'll go put on the 6 o'clock news. Maybe they'll put something on the 6 o'clock news. So we're going to go around the block here. I want to get on the Van Buren is what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't want to go to... Oh, man, they got everything blocked off here. Maybe... Oh, I know how to do it. Why don't we go this way? Oh, we'll go... I don't want to go across the highway. We won't do that. It's too long there. So they got multiple streets blocked off here. What's up? Did you hear? Hey, I forget. I don't know what your first name is, Stringer. What you hear? Is it a bomb or what? Because we heard the explosion on live here. Something went off. It sounded like a controlled explosion. Get in through Adams if you're coming here. Adams is the way you want to come. Adams. Adams is the way you want to come in, all right? Because everything else is blocked off here. Adams will get you to where you can see it. I'll show you the view. Stringer, he's got a lot of good video. I don't got the fancy video cameras. You want to get in on Adams and you want to look down. I think it's that might be Loomis there, right? You can see the fire trucks over here. It's right here. I'll show you. I don't know if I can turn here. You want to go 1 block east of here. 1 block east of whatever I'm on here. 1 block east of Laughlin, you can see the fire trucks. All right, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go north, and then I'm going to come back. They're right here. We heard it. Look, we all heard it. I'm not making it up. Even though I was talking about Nick and twerking, yeah, I can still focus a little bit. Twerking doesn't unfocus me. Right? Oh.
733. 733. Is that number for the red line 473, please?
And if you want another Crime Chaser channel, Northwest Indiana Stringers 2.0. Northwest Indiana Stringers 2.0. Put them on your notification list on Facebook. Really good pictures, really good videos. They really do a good job. Look, the more pages we have doing this, the better information we have. This is not about who's better. This is about, can we get more information? So that's all. Just because I'm one place don't mean another guy's another place. And if we're both at the same place, that's okay. We might see different things. I'm on sites with different stringers, and we see different things on site, and we tell each other stuff. The Kedzie shooting with Tiffany Henyard's dad, I went to the other side and seen the 9 bullets. But somebody else, another stringer, told me there's a bullet casing by the car, and I heard it on the radio. So they shot from the north end of the building there.
Citywide, I got a battery in progress, 3200 block of North Keating, 3200 block North Keating. Male seen dragging a female down the street. Male Hispanic, red jacket, female in a white jacket, last seen heading towards Belmont. Nothing further. Station clear.
Dragging a female down the street, huh? Let's hear the news and let's see if they got something on the radio.
I'm not done. Sorry. Why are you wearing your best babushka? We go First American Bank, so Grandma proves she no robot. What? Francis Lakumskis tell me banks now use fakey smartness to know you real.
Oh, you mean artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Grandma, AI is a tool banks use. First American knows you're real.
Well, Francis Lakumskis tell me to get best loan for new kitchen, Grandma need prove she real grandma.
Someone visually indicting, especially Matthew Boyd, who hit, Michael Bush with 34 home runs.
Maybe check the camera. Maybe at 1800 hours-ish. At Real Line North of Clybourne. A guy says that smell black, beat him up with his phone and money.
Robbery, Clybourne. You just heard it. Robbery on Clybourne.
1845. It doesn't say. Maybe 1845. Go back to the caller called in at 1850.
All right, let's see how sneaky. We're going to be a little sneaky here, right? Again, the more scanner channels there are, the better. In the old days, there was bunches of them. And people had their own turfs, had their own things, and people listened to different stuff. Like me, I like going and seeing the stolen car stuff. Some people don't do that. So, Northwest Indiana Stringers 2.0. Like his page. Go check his stuff out. Really great pictures. He had the best pictures from the 7-Eleven shooting down on Adams and Wells, right? And we're on Adams right now, right? All right, so we got it here. You know what? Can I get out this way? I want to get to the next street here. I want to shoot. You know what? We're just going to go over here. I think this is the best place we're going to see what's going on over here, right?
09968.
We're on Adams now.
09968.
We're still here.
Thank you.
Got my seatbelt unbuckled. That's dangerous. I shouldn't do that. So we were here. That's where we started out. Right there, right? See that there? And we'll show you over here where all the activity is, right? And here's another thing why watch different stringer pages, news pages. If you seen the other day, what did I put? I put all the news channels from Chicago. 9, 32, 5, 6, 5, 7, and 2. There's 5 news channels in our city, right? 32, 9, 2, 5, and 7, right? Why? Because they have different aspects of the story. Right. There you go. Still a big fire presence here. See that there? And ambulance is still here. We're now at Loomis and Adams.
They get a red line check at Belmont, lower level. 09982. Sorry, 09982. You got it?
There you go. They're still on there, right?
09982. Yep, 09982. I get one for 976. 09986.
We're going to take a picture out there real quick. Let me put this camera up here. Citizen app, we're still here. Still at the bomb threat here. At the police academy. Chicago Police Academy. It's still ongoing. And we heard a controlled explosion that's going to be going for a half hour. And they said time it and tell us if you hear anything, right?
84 David. Can please get a number from 47 with red? Sure, 09994, 09994. 7386 David. 86 David.
We're going to go out. We're going to go out and try to get a picture out here, right?
09999,
Hopefully my cameras don't fall into the water here. Oh man, I'm right by the deep water. We ain't going out here. There's a battalion commander. See that? Looks like they're letting people out or something. Yeah, the trucks are leaving.
10007.
I'm right by a big puddle of water here. That's what I'm...
Right, default train from Central Park, car number 7189. Check, that is 10016.
10016.
10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016. 10016.
If you're just tuning in, suspicious package here at the Chicago Police Academy. And we did hear what I thought was a controlled explosion. Let me take a quick picture out here so I have it from my report, right? Big puddles of water here.
Number for the 79th red, please.
Yeah, 10031.
What's up, fellas? Hey, right down there. I don't know where the bomb truck. I don't know where the bomb truck is. I don't know where that is. I don't know where the bomb thing is because I know I heard something explode. They must have put it in the container. What's up, John? That's Mike. Great picture. Great work. I don't know where it is, but I know there was an explosion over there. I think they put it in whatever the container is. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. There you go. Those are the Northwest Indiana Stringers. Say hello to everybody. You're live. There you go. Those are the good guys over there. See that there? Hey, good looking crew. You guys single?
No.
No, look at them. Oh, they're afraid of girlfriends. All right, whatever. Keep doing a good job you guys do, all right? There you go. There you go. Good guys there. Good guys. Did we hear anything on the radio, guys? What'd you hear so far, Holly? Anything? There you go. Something's going on.
Yo.
What's up?
So what's the actual deal over here?
They said a suspicious package taped on the wall. It was a phone. And then they gave a countdown for a minute or 5 minutes, and then I heard a controlled explosion about a half hour ago. And now they might be clearing it and letting everybody back into the building. It's big. I don't see the bomb text, though, anywhere. There's got to be the bomb text there somewhere, I'm almost sure. I don't know how close you guys can get. There's the bomb vehicle must be over there, right? Probably around the corner.
I think it's right over there.
You see the ambulance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but you kind of get it, right?
I ain't just Xavier's coming on your side, on the other side. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I think the bomb techs are on that side of the building somewhere. I don't think we can see them. Because they cleared it, and we could hear it on the radio. You guys probably heard it too, didn't you hear it?
I was in a different vehicle.
They were saying, give us a minute or two, a minute countdown, get everybody towards this building. And then afterwards, there was a controlled explosion, and then they said, give us a half hour. And then he said over the radio, he says, tell me when half hour comes.
10070.
Is that what the suspect said, or is that what the police said?
That's what the police guy in charge of here said to the dispatcher. Tell me in a half hour when it's clear. So I'm waiting for that half hour call. We might have been past it already. I don't know if you can walk over there. I said, if you can walk through that parking lot there. They don't have tape here, so.
They don't.
You see what I'm talking about, right? You might be able to get a little closer. Because I seen people coming out of Whitney Young there walking, and they didn't stop them. That's Whitney Young High School right next to us.
Yeah.
You guys got media passes?
They probably do.
Huh?
They probably do.
Yeah. You see how close you can get? Because it looks like they're wrapping it up there. That might be the bomb guy there in that pickup there. See the pickup there? You should get a picture of that of you. I can't get that close. All I got is cameras or these smartphones. That's all I got. I'm old school, man. I'm not as fancy like you guys. Can you guys live feed with your high def or not? No, right?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. This is actually my first day with them.
Oh, yeah? Your first day? On a bomb scene? You're crazy, bro.
Oh, dude, this when we live in Indiana, there's way more stuff.
Watch out, you're on TV right now. You're right in front of the TV. That's Citizen app you're on right there.
Yeah, it's fine.
So what'd you say? You're single, right?
No, taken.
Oh, ladies, I'm sorry about that.
I've been to.
So there's a lot of bomb stuff in Indiana?
Oh, I've been to homicide case.
Listen. Is it over? Listen, he's talking.
3326, what's up? 3326, our timer up here has gone off for your 30 minutes. Hey, task force, thanks, so is mine. I appreciate it, thank you. Alright, our watches are synchronized.
So the 30 minutes is up.
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
73838, Adam. 78, that number for CTA 95th Red Line.
Suspicious package here at the Police Academy on Adams on the near west side. Sounds like they had a controlled explosion. They waited 30 minutes. The 30 minutes has passed, and I think they're clearing the area.
So what do you think?
That's the bomb guy right there. That's. I'm pretty sure that's the bomb squad guy right there in that pickup truck. That's the bomb squad guy right there. That's him. No, that's detection unit. That's a canine. So this was a bomb threat here.
Yeah.
Suspicious package.
I'm gonna just put it as a possible bomb threat at the.
Suspicious package, yeah.
Suspicious package. We were downtown yesterday, man.
Oh, man, you were in the middle of that bullshit?
Dude, me and Justin were with it.
I seen he was tackling people.
Dude, we were.
You be careful. You know, when that gets crazy, I've been in a riot before. I was at the NATO riots. I don't do that no more, man. I got hit in the head. I got hit in the head with a stick.
We're gonna go hide.
Huh?
We're gonna go hide.
Alrighty. I think we can go down this road, right? Good seeing you guys. What are you guys doing for dinner?
I don't know.
You guys gonna go get a hot dog or something?
We already ate.
Oh, yeah? Alright, I'm about done. Yeah, I might go.
Hey, if you want to meet us at the Engine Company 1 over there in that parking garage.
Where's that at?
Look it up. I think it's on the map. I forget which the address is.
Engine Company 1, that's where you guys hang out?
Yeah, right there in that parking garage.
Alright, I'll look it up. You gonna be there tonight? You gonna be roaming tonight? Says you heard they're clearing the area. 7:05 p.m., March 26, 2026. Thanks, Holly. It was one of our viewers, Holly, who told us about this one. Appreciate you, sister. I'm your sister, a man. I don't know, man. I gotta watch what I say nowadays. You might identify some other ploy. I don't know. I don't mean to be mean to you, but hey, I still believe in Adam and Eve. That's what I believe in, right?
795 Charlie. 795 Charlie. That number for the blue line, Clark Lake. Yep, it's 10147.
It looks like it's still being blockaded. And we're past our 7 o'clock mark, so we'll have to sign off, I think. We run our show from 4 o'clock. We ran an 8-hour live feed once. I have an 8-hour live feed uninterrupted. I've done it one time. 8 hours. So we run from 4 to midnight. That's when we do our crime chasing 5 days a week. The reason I stop at 3 hours at 7 o'clock is I have software. It's Otter AI. It's a transcription software. So what I do is I take my video, I download the live video. 2 reasons. To get the transcription. Second, Facebook erases your videos every 30 days. So if I don't download it, I lose it. So what I do is I download my live video, and then I upload it to Otter that transcribes it, gets the themes, gets the ideas out, gets my quotes. And then I write my articles from it, right? But if it's over 3 hours, Otter won't transcribe it. So I have to keep my videos to 3 hours, or I have to cut my videos, and I don't like cutting videos because then somebody can say I'm making things up, right? So that's why I don't do that. All right, I think we're done at this scene. We'll give you guys an update on what's going on here. I think I'm going to shut off both feeds because I'm way past my time here. It's 7:15 p.m. We're at the police academy here. There was a suspicious package. It was a cell phone, whatever it was, and we believe about 40 minutes ago, we heard a controlled explosion, and there was a countdown from the dispatcher, 1 minute, and then there was a controlled explosion, unless it was thunder. I don't know, but we heard it, and then they said, wait 30 minutes and give us the 30 minutes that it's clear. So we heard that just now on the live radio. We're listening live. We're not on a scanner. We have a ham radio license, so we're listening to this live. And they just said they said that's the 30-minute timer, right? They said yes. And that's what we just heard. Here, there's a fire truck right next to us. I don't know if he's leaving or coming. There you go. See that guy? 103 right there. And the battalion chief looks like he's going. 103 is leaving, and the battalion chief was leaving. Oh, they're all leaving. See that there? Oh! There you go. I just put down my window. I had my things rigged up a bad way here. Everybody looks like they're leaving. See that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting. You're leaving here at 7:16.
Frequency mode.
So it looks like this event's over, right? SubX News, it's 7:17 p.m., March 26, 2026. We're at Adams and Loomis at the Police Academy here. It looks like all the fire department vehicles are leaving the scene. The battalion chief left, the fire trucks and the bomb squad has left. There we go.
It is 10191.
So it looks like the scene is now finished here. Again, there was a suspicious package here at the police academy. They cleared the scene. We believe there was a controlled explosion, or they exploded whatever the device or package was. And now at 7:17, the scene is now being cleared. There you go. That's the police academy right there.
Need a van, 47 for the red line. Yeah, it's 10200.
All the fire vehicles are leaving, right? I got all kinds of contraptions here in my car, right? And we want to thank, oh man, my car is wet. I have my window open. I gotta put a towel. My seat's all wet. And we want to thank Holly, our viewer who tipped us to this. She goes, John, there's a suspicious package over there. We were actually somewhere else. We're looking at the murder scene on Madison Avenue where Jerry Lewis was murdered. The contractor that's working at the United Center expansion, $1 billion project. He was murdered by his office. We were on that scene, and Holly said, John, there's a suspicious package over at the police academy. So it's the result of a viewer, viewer, SubX, I don't know what you want to say, let's say a viewer. And she said, go, and then I said, okay, let's go. And she said, it might be over. And I said, let's go. And then we were here, and we actually heard the explosion here. What's up, Trina? There you go. All righty, I think I'm going to have to log off, everybody. Take it easy, everybody. Oh, man. And, again, we're on the scene of a suspicious package. We do believe there was a controlled explosion here. Rains are coming in. Take it easy. Love everybody. It's 7:19 p.m., March 26, 2026. I am signing off because I'm past my 3-hour limit on my videos. Take it easy, everybody. Love everybody. Talk to you later. I might go back on live soon just in case something happens. Take it easy, everybody. Signing off on Citizen and signing off on Facebook Live.